Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last time we got another phone call from Shion and obviously, well, I guess who we thought was Shion, but obviously Shion had disappeared. Um, we confront her about it eventually after a lot of dodging. And then, yeah, she's crazy, whoever it is. I guess at this point, we're supposed to think it's yeah, no, I kind of think it's Mion too, because I mean, like, we've seen more evidence of Mion pretending to be Shion than Shion pretending to be Mion. Like, okay, we can see Mion do it, but I mean, maybe Shion can't, like, replicate Mion like Mion could replicate Shion. So we've seen it, like, we've seen it. I mean, come on, we've seen it. It's just like, oh my god. Like, I'm just, it's sort of confusing, but this has to be Mion. I mean, how can it not be Mion? Anyway, okay, I was about to say, there we go. You can see the last time I recorded if you, like, pause there. Yeah, let's just get right into it. This should be one of the last parts, I think. I think I'm, like, at the very end. Keiichi. Keiichi. Oh, that's right, we're shell-shocked after yesterday. Just leave him alone. His friends went missing. Must be really hard for him. Normally, my dad never shows me any consideration, but this time he did. Oh, wow. Shouldn't Keiichi stay home from school for a while, too? I think it'd be safer not to go until the police do something about this. Maybe. Compared to what could happen, taking a few days off wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with you, but we can't leave Rena alone. That's like my only thing, is that I'd agree, but like, no. Anyway, how is it logical not to close school during such a dangerous situation? What do those teachers think our children are? Well, yeah, this whole village is a little crazy. Mom and Dad were getting pretty riled up, but at this point, I couldn't care less. Besides, that wasn't the only thing I couldn't care less about. The breakfast table, the food in front of me, the time and date, myself, I really had no interest in anything. Oh, man. Oh, he broke a little bit there. Oh, man. This feeling, it was like a dead frog in my mind. It felt like getting dizzy after taking strong medication. Keiichi. How are your studies going? Weren't you just gonna leave me alone? You've gotten further than the other kids, haven't you? Really? If you have, then you can take a few days off, alright? I didn't even feel like answering. Oh man, I feel really bad. Today was Thursday. Only 4 days had passed since the Watanagashi festival. Oh my god, only 4 days? Such a short time. And yet now things were completely different. Everything had changed. The tranquil village, bright and clear as if it were in Indian summer, had undergone a total reversal. People were made to disappear every night, and we couldn't even relax when walking out in broad daylight. The village had become a world of fear. I had no right to curse this outcome. After all, the one responsible for everything was me. That night, I couldn't resist my honestly tiny, little, and incredibly stupid curiosity, and broke the taboo. This isn't somewhere we should be going, is it? Let's not. It's a crime to force your way into a locked building, even if you don't steal anything. Is this? Well, these are different. Shion, now that you know they weren't having some secret rendezvous, you had enough, right? I don't want to do something like this. What if Rika-chan's dance ends while we're messing around here? I prattled on as I took the log from Tomitake-san's hands and put it back on the door. Oh, okay, he's playing a what if out in his head right now. Oh my god, why? I feel bad. Now he's even playing out what ifs in his head? Oh my god. I'll forget everything I saw here, so come on. Let's go, let's go. Takano-san was fretting, but I pushed her away. Tomitaka-san grinned painfully. Shion's shoulders dropped as if to call me an idiot. Even so, I didn't care. I pushed everyone farther and farther away. Rikishin's dance was still going on. It wouldn't have changed. At the end of the day, if those three had gone in, it wouldn't have changed anything. It's just that I don't know. I don't get Mion's, or whichever sister this is, objective here in killing everyone. I just don't get it. Then at least her dance was brought to a close with a roaring applause. I too, until my hands turned red, I clapped. And I clapped. Oh man, really playing what ifs now. Oh yeah, Rena. Whoops. Ding dong.
レナちゃんじゃない？
Isn't that Rena-chan?
いつもの時間だから迎えに来
She's
たんじ
here
ゃない？
because it's your usual meetup time, isn't it? I mean, isn't she? Fuck. I looked up at the clock. It was 5 minutes past my time to meet with Rena. Alright. We can't leave Rena. Keiichi.
しばらく学校を休んだ方がいいんじゃないのか？
Take a few days off from school.
そうだね。
You're right.
気を使ってくれてありがとう。
Thanks for being so considerate. I rose from my seat. I went to the entrance to greet Rena.
おはよう。
Good morning.
今日から集団登校だから
We're going to school as a group starting today,
遅れちゃダメだよ。
so you can't be late. That's right. We, the ones farthest away, were to be late. The younger kids on the way there would be waiting for us.
俺さ、今日からしばらく休むこと
I
に
think
す
I'm
る
going
よ。
to take some time off
学校。
from school.
うん。
Okay. Rena answered shortly, nodding.
ケイチくんが自分の体に一番優しい過ごし方を
Think you
選ぶ
should...
べきだと思う。
I thought you ended there. I think you should do whatever is best for you, Keiichi-kun.
だから別に引け目を感じることなんかないと思うな。
So you don't need to feel that you're weak or something. Oh, you're a good friend, Rena. See, much better than towards the end of chapter 1, where you all went crazy. See, this is the Rena that, I was hoping I'd have, but at least I can have you for this whole chapter. Oh man, I'm happy.
それから
Oh,
こ
and
れ
here.
回覧板
It's a notice they're sending around.
お母様に渡しておいてく
Did
れ
you
る
give
か
it to your
な。
mom?
いろいろ大事なお知らせがあるみた
I
いだ
think
か
it
ら。
has a lot of important announcements in it. I took the notice. There were a lot more pages than normal. The ones on top announced the disappearance of the mayor, Rikishin and Sadako. If they wanted any information about them, it meant heartache. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Oh, for a second, I thought it was like a newspaper. I was like, what?
必死に探してくれてる。
Police are looking as best they can, too. Oh, that's right. They're trying to get me to crack today, and apparently... It looks as though they're trying to get us to go to Mion's place today, which is, oh,
きっ
great.
と見つかるから。
They'll find them for sure.
待ってよ。
Just be patient.
ね。
Okay? No, they're definitely dead. I would normally be optimistic, but yeah, no, I don't believe it. There's another at the end. Rena said, smiling in an attempt to give me courage. Other than that, though, her smile looked like it was because she herself wanted to believe they were safe.
レナは
Rena, you're
俺を問い詰めないんだな。
not going to question me?
うん。
Nope.
レナは
Rena,
知ってるんだろ。
you know, don't you?
俺があの晩
About that night, what I...
西宮殿に忍び込んだことかな。
When you snuck into the ritual storehouse? I was speechless for a moment, but then I bit my lip, made up my mind, and nodded a little. There you go. Come on, man. You gotta, thank God. Like, I was really starting to, like, be like, why are we still, like, lying? Everyone literally knows, but finally...
筒抜けなんだな。
So it's all out in the open. I mean, yeah, I thought we knew
まった
that.
く
Really.
悪いことはするもんじゃないよ。
Shouldn't do bad things like that.
みーちゃんはすごく怒ってたよ。
She was really mad. Oh, so she was really mad. When was this? Y'all had like a secret meeting? Oh my, so she was upset. Suppose she would have been.
でもね、きっとみーちゃんが怒ってたのは忍び込んだこと
I
より
don't
も
think she was as angry about you sneaking in there though. What?
それを隠していたことだと思うの。
As much as about you hiding it from her. We were mad precisely because she was... We hid it precisely because she was mad. And I mean... I don't know if you noticed, but she's a little crazy.
圭一君は自分から言い出して謝らなくちゃいけなかったんじゃないかな。
Maybe Keiichi-kun, maybe you should have told her yourself and apologized. Why would she care though? It's not even her shrine. I'd apologize to Rika. I mean, well, why am I apologizing to her about it? It's not your shrine. I should have told her myself and apologized. I guess I should have told the whole village and apologized while I was at it. That troubled me. Just 1 week ago, I did something that I myself should have apologized to Mion for. Ah, that's right, and you never did. I'm just realizing it now. I don't think you ever apologized for when you hurt her feelings way back at the very beginning of this chapter, which I'm pretty sure started everything. I'd hurt her badly. However, I hadn't realized that at all. I had forgotten. It's been so long between grappling with the twins and then all the murders that's been happening. Like, I forgot that even happened. And it's been 5 months, to be fair, almost. Plus, with all the confusion that Shion's disappearance had brought, I still hadn't been able to talk to Mion about it. Well, that was just yesterday. How would you talk to her about it yesterday?
レナの
Rena,
言う通りだな。
you're right.
俺はいつも
I never
レナに教えられるまで
realized anything
何も気づかなくて。
until you tell me.
圭一君、
Keiichi-kun,
もしもだよ。
pathetically,
もしも圭一君が悪いことをしたことをすぐに認めて
you would have admitted
兄ちゃんに謝
you'd
って
done
いた
something
ら、
wrong right away and apologized to Mi-chan.
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんはいなくならずに済
I
んだの
wonder
か
if
な。
Rika-chan and Sadako-chan wouldn't have had to disappear. First of all, I don't know if that's you blaming me or not for. I'm not blaming, but like, whatever. But second of all, you're making it sound like you know it's Mion. Like, I don't know, like, I couldn't answer right away. I couldn't admit to that. Wasn't Rena telling me right now, though? That I should have admitted to my crime sooner? Bro! Mion isn't my mom, like... it's not your storehouse. I should be apologizing to Rika, which I don't know if I did or not, but I mean... Oh, no, he did. Yeah, I know he did already. So why do I gotta apologize to Mion? It's not your storehouse. Part of Rika's family, and I already apologized for that. If I had done that and apologized when things not have gone in such a horrible direction, that's so annoying. Like, I hate the, like, 3 families, man. Rena's eyes were filled with kindness, but they weren't naive enough to forgive me for keeping silent, and they stared fixedly into my own.
あ
Yeah,
あ、そうだ。
you're right. If I had admitted my crime sooner, then Rika-chan and Sadako wouldn't have had to die or disappear. I don't know about that. Whoa. Smack. Palm of Rena's hand slapped me in the cheek. What did I get slapped for? I stood there unmoving, my head still tilted in the direction I'd been hit. What? Hello? It didn't hurt at all.
誰も圭一君のことを叱らなかったと思う。
I don't think that anyone has scolded you, Keiichi-kun.
だから私が代わりに圭一君を叱るね。
So I'll scold you in their place, okay? Why? Your tone of voice is different again. Pressed a hand to my cheek, now warm with embarrassment, and quietly stared down at Rena's feet. Why her feet? Why can't you look at your own feet?
入ってはいけないところに勝手に入るのはとても悪いこと。
Going somewhere you're not allowed to is a very bad thing to do. Yeah.
それはわかる。
You understand that? I understood that.
あ
Uh-huh.
返事ははいだよ。
Answer me with a yes.
圭一君。
Keiichi-kun.
あ、はい。
Yes.
そしてもっと悪いのは自分が悪いことをしたのを認めないこと。
And what's even worse, you didn't admit to having done something so bad.
悪いことをするのはとてもいけないことだけど、それを認めて謝らないことはもっともっと悪いことなんだよ。
You should never do anything bad in the first place, but not admitting to it or apologizing for it is much, much worse.
はい。
Yes,
僕が
I was
悪かったです。
wrong. I like this moment. This is a good moment. For a few moments, Rena stared at me, silently and intently, as if gauging my remorse. Then finally, the tension in her face softened, and she smiled.
じゃあもう時間だから
Okay then, it's about time.
私は行くよ。
I should be going.
あ
Alright.
回覧板お母様に渡しておいてね。
Be sure to give the notice to your mom, okay?
あと
Also,
回覧板は暗くなったら持っていかないようにって
warn her
注意
not to
付き
go
だから
out to pass it on after it gets dark. Hmm? I bent down to pick up the notice, which I dropped when she slapped me. The pages had come out of the clasp and were now making a mess on the floor. I gathered them up one by one. My hand stopped at a single, more light-hearted page with peaceful sentences dancing on it. We still have plenty of homemade soy sauce in stock. Feel free to come to the Sonozaki house if you want some.
なんだこれ
What's this? I picked up the page and scanned the rest of it. They were stockpiling high-quality soy sauce they got from faraway relatives in the Akita prefecture. Oh my god. They had gotten a pretty big shipment already. They couldn't use it all, so they wanted anyone who wanted some of it to feel free to come over, is what it said. As a PS, it said it arrived in barrels and to please bring a 2-liter bottle or other container for it. So it's tied together.
醤油をもらいに行くなら園崎家
Oh, not this name. You need some soy sauce, and you'd go to the Sonozaki house.
レナ
Rena,
お前ひょっとして
did you
知ってたんじゃ
did you know all along? Oh, so that's why you were here.
うん
Yeah,
知ってた。
I knew. How long did you know? I'm actually curious how long you knew. Obviously, Keiichi finally learned last night, but I'm curious how long you knew. Rena had already been suspicious of Mion as soon as she noticed that the big bottle of soy sauce was missing. Oh, at that time? Huh. Obviously, I guess we wouldn't have known that, but you would have already known. We wouldn't have, so that's interesting. Higurashi had taken the bottle and gone to Mion's house, and there, she was erased. Ryuchen wasn't coming back, so Sadako called Mion's house, since she knew where she had gone, and then Sadako got called there as well. That meeting on the day the mayor disappeared, didn't Oishi-san say that the 3 families participated in it? The 3 families would include the Sonozaki family. Didn't he also say that the current leader was also really old, so that her here, Mion, frequently stood in for her at public appearances? On the mayor's returning from the shrine, Mion called out and stopped him. She talked to him and invited him to their house, and then she made him disappear. It's probably even simpler to make Shion disappear. Shion was part of the Sonozaki family. They probably knew exactly what she was doing at all times. I'm sure they even knew her part-time job schedule too. Thinking back, wasn't that Angel store managed by the Sonozaki family? Yeah, it was. Setting up an ambush for her there wouldn't have been any trouble at all.
俺
I'm
ミオンのところへ行
I'm
く
going to Mion. Oh no, this is exactly what the police... Oh no.
謝ってくるよ
I'll go apologize. This has to be the end.
もう全部
I'm going to
終わりにしてもらう
have her put an end to everything.
ミオンはきっ
You
と
probably won't forgive me
簡単には
easily,
許してくれないだろうけど
but I'll go and ask
もう
her
これ以上誰も犠牲にならないように頼んでくる
not to sacrifice anyone else. With that decided, there was no need for me to be lazing around here. Oh man. Put on my shoes and slip past Rena to exit the house. When she stopped me,
私も行くよ。
I'm going to...
レナ
Rena,
学校はいいのかよ
shouldn't you go to school?
学校なんかよりもっと大切な用事だよ。
This is way more important than school.
レナは来るな
Rena, you shouldn't come.
この上レナまで
You're
巻
up
き込ま
in
れた
this
ら
too.
俺は頭がどうにかなってしまうかもしれ
Then
な
I
い
think I might actually go crazy. Rena didn't move her arm, which is blocking my way.
ケイチ君までいなくなったら
Keiichi-kun disappeared as well.
私も頭がどうにかなってしまうかもしれない。
Then I think I might actually go crazy too.
だからケイチ君だけを行かせない。
So I won't let you go alone. Rena argued boldly as tears welled up in her eyes. I saw them, and I knew the strength of her resolve.
分かった
Alright.
行こ
Let's go.
う。ありがとう。レナ。
Thank you, Rena. Oh, man. Oh, we gotta put an end to everything. At least I got Rena by my side. Oh, man. You've been such a great help to me, Rena. Oh, my God. Imagine we had to go through this with, like, no Rena, and it was just us. Like, oh, my God. We would have gone insane quite a long time ago. Between, like, the scene right after Rika and Sadako disappeared, and it was like, she was comforting us then, helping us a day after, and it's like, oh man. Oh, Rena is amazing this chapter. Oh man, this is just, okay. Rena nodded slightly, but firmly, and finally let down the arm blocking me. Let's go to Mion's house. I'll apologize for the crimes I've committed. Then we'll put an end to these twisted days. After that, I'll pray. And once more, we can return to those fun, lively days. With Rena following me, I left the house. In front of the house, there was a car waiting. I knew it. You wanted this. It was Oishi-san.
やあ、おはようございます。
Hey, good morning,
前原さん、
Maibara-san.
それから龍さんも
To you too, Ryugu-san.
朝から羨ましいですね。
Together so early in the morning, you make me jealous. What a truly praiseworthy man he was. If he had been lying in wait so early in the morning just to pressure me into talking. On this morning, though, maybe this was actually a good opportunity.
警察の方ですよね。
You're from the police.
ありゃ、龍さんには名乗ってません
No?
でしたっけ？
Have I not introduced myself to you, Ryugu-san?
これは失礼しました。
Please excuse my rudeness.
私、沖宮署の大石と申しま
My
す。
name is Oishi from the Okinomiya Police Department.
どうぞよろしく。
Pleased to meet you.
う。大石さんに
Are we
喋るのか？
telling Oishi-san?
うん。
Yeah.
圭一君の罪は私の平手だけであがなえる
I
けど、
think my palm is enough punishment for your crime, Keiichi-kun, but
みーちゃん
I
の
don't
罪
know why
は
that sounds funny.
この人たちにあがなってもらわ
You
な
should
くちゃい
leave
けない
me-chans to these people. Pain and sadness. I look down as those emotions built up in my heart.
大石さんにお話があります。
We have something to tell you, Oishi-san.
はてはて、
Well now,
どんなお話でしょ
What
う。
about?
ここで立ち話します。
we stand here and talk?
それとも車の中でしますか？
Car,
車の
probably.
中でします。
In the car, please. I'll only continue to look down weakly. All I could do was be thankful for how dependable Rena was. Yeah, Rena's been super dependable in this chapter. Like, she might low-key be my favorite now. Like, I don't know. Rena's amazing this chapter. Like, at least, like, this section, like, oh my god. At Rena's urging, I revealed everything to Oishi-san. The latter, while making sure to throw in murmurs that he was paying attention every now and then, took notes. We continued that way for a while.
どうです
How do you feel?
話したらなんだか胸がすっきりしたん
Don't
じ
you
ゃないで
feel
す
a lot
か？
better now that you've told me? Is this your way of saying you should have told me sooner? Like, Oishi-san asked this while scratching his head with his ballpoint pen. Of course, I don't feel better. The price that had been paid until now for me not owning up to my crimes had been so immense. But as long as that payment wasn't returned, the load on my chest could never be removed. His radio started to emit static. This is Kuma. Oishi-san. Over.
はい、もしもし。
Yes, hello.
大石です。
This is Oishi. We got news a few minutes ago that she's been absent from school. Again, huh? No movement at the Sonozaki house. Our target is still on the premises.
はいはい。引き続き見張りお願いしま
Yes,
す。
good. Keep a close watch out. Roger that. The relief for 3 and 7 just arrived, and they've returned to base. Also, it looks like the division chief is looking for Oishi-san. Alright, he's trying to avoid him. He keeps bugging me too. tell him as soon as I get in touch with you. What do you want me to do?
答えに窮したら、実は居眠りしてて起こさないように言われてるとか、ご
If
ま
you're
かしとい
hard
てくだ
pressed
さ
for
い。
an answer, tell him you're actually under orders not to wake me from my morning nap. Got it. The radio grew silent.
いや、失礼。
Sorry about that.
仕事の連絡でし
It was
た。
about work.
今、園崎家前は動きなしって言ってま
He
した
just
よ
said
ね。
there was no movement at the Sonozaki house, didn't he?
ありゃん
Oh my.
そんな風に聞こえ
Did
ちゃ
it
いま
sound
し
like
た
that to you? Yeah, we heard him say those exact words.
そりゃ困ったな。
This won't do.
秘密にしてくださいよ。
Please keep that a secret, alright?
課長から内定の許可はもらってないんですから。
I don't have permission from the division chief to be making private inquiries like this. Oishi-san has suspected Mion for a long time.
事情聴取も家宅捜査も、とにかく何にも許
Nor
可が
for
下りないん
questioning
ですよ。
witnesses or for searching houses. We don't have permission for anything, really.
園崎本家を守ろうという園崎家の防衛機能が楽器がきに作用しちゃってるらしくて、
Defenses said to protect the family members are also in full working condition.
令状がなくちゃ私たち現行犯以外は何にも手出しできませんから
Without a warrant, we
ね。
can't do anything about anything unless the crime happens right in front of us. That's why you want me to go in there. You want me to go in there, have Mion do something to me, and then catch her in the act. But that's just not even you. That was like your whole group of buddies wanted me there too. They all wanted to use me as bait? Oh, what pieces of work, man. You lost a lot of respect from me.
大石さんってひょっとして
Oishi-san, could you be... Rena's tone of voice alone was enough to make her spite clear as she stared at Oishi-san.
園崎家に踏み込めないものだから
You can't set foot in the Sonozaki house.
圭一君に踏み込ませようとしてたんじゃないですか
Were you trying to get Keiichi-kun to go in there instead?
レナ、それは
That's...
どういう意味だ？
What do you mean?
この人は私の想像通りなら
This
とて
person,
も卑劣な人
just as I thought, he plays really dirty. Wow, you are really mad. I could hear it like... That is the tone of voice when you say when you were pissed.
ふん、
Stop.
人聞きが
You're
悪い
hurting
で
my
すね。
reputation.
でもお説は拝聴しますよ。
That said, I'm all ears to your explanation, okay? Oishi-san lit a cigarette and responded to Rena, wearing an expression implying he was calm and willing to let her comment slide.
あなたは令状が取れないけれどみーちゃんが怪しいとずっと狙いをつけていた
But you've always had your eyes on Mi-chan because you thought she was suspicious.
ふんふん。
Yes.
圭一君を焚きつけて園崎家へ向かわせようと
You
企ん
plotted
だ
to incite Keiichi-kun and have him go to the Sonozaki house. Yeah, no, you definitely would have got him to
そして
crack today.
圭一君に何かがあればそれを口実に踏み込むつもりだった
If something were to happen to him, you would have used that as an excuse to go in.
そうでしょ
Isn't that right? Yeah, that's why you're parked around here. I only understood about half of what Rena was saying. I knew, however, that Oishi-san had been trying to use me.
その結果
Didn't you know that last
圭
time
一
too?
君が襲われるかもしれないのに
Even if Keiichi-kun got hurt as a result, wow, you were sounding so
恥知
mad.
らず
Have you no shame?
これが警察のやり方なの
Is this how the police do things?
いやいや、
My
こり
my.
ゃ飛んだところに名探偵がいたも
Seems
ん
we
で
have an
す。
incredible detective on our hands. Yeah, we do.
いやはやいやは
My
や。
oh my.
あなた、うちの試験受ける気
You
あ
be
りませ
interested in
ん。
taking our exam?
刑事課配属の推薦状書いてあげてもいいですよ。うん。
I'd gladly write a recommendation letter to get you into the detective division. How are you still laughing about this? Like,
卑劣感
you're despicable. Rena spoke quietly, her words dripping with hostility. Well, this is the first time I've ever heard her talk like that. Even back then when she was crazy, she didn't talk like that.
私も
That's
い
starting
ろ
to make
ん
me
な悪
think,
口を言われたもんです
I
が、
don't know.
若いお嬢さんの短い一言が
Maybe we really did
一
go
番答
really
えます
crazy.
よ。
I've been insulted in all kinds of ways in my life, but one or two words from a young girl is always the roughest for me.
でも
Even
結
so,
果として今日までみーちゃんを逮
I
捕しなかったことに
suppose I
は
should thank you for
感
not
謝してお
listening
き
to
ます
Me-chan
ね
yet. Thanks for talking over me, Rena, like over half that.
そりゃ
I
ど
guess I
う
talked
も
over。you too. Don't mention it. Oishi-san seemed to be enjoying his exchange with Rena. The things this man thought were like a swamp, I could barely see past the surface. It reminded me again of how much I disliked him.
さ
I
て、
remember you disliking him last time.
その園崎美音さんの親友であらせられる
Well
二
then,
人は
as two esteemed
これか
friends
ら
of
どうするつもりです
Mion Sonozaki-san, what are you planning on doing now?
私が証拠固めを終えて令状が請求できるまでのんびり待っててくれるわけ
Will
で
you
すか
wait
ね
kindly for me to go over the evidence and request a warrant?
ううん
No,
そんなの待ちません。
we won't wait for that.
私たちが行って
We'll go
みーちゃんを自首させます。
and make Michan surrender herself. That's right. If she turned herself in rather than be arrested, she might get a lighter sentence. At this point, perhaps that was the only pity I can find in me to afford for her.
さてさてそんなにうまくいくでしょうかね
I see, I see. I wonder if that will go well.
下手すりゃあなたたちも無事では済まないかもしれませんよ
If you're careless, you two may face danger, you know. Oshi-san was measuring our resolve. So in a strong voice, I declared,
そんなのは覚悟の上です。
We're fully prepared. Oshi-san gave us an unpleasant, yet seemingly satisfied grin. It was then I realized this man was trying to use this for his own convenience.
も
Yeah,
し私
duh.
たちに何かあったなら、それを口実に踏み込んでく
If
ださい。
anything should happen to us, use that as an excuse.
犯人を取り逃がさないように、ぐるりと取り囲んでくださるのが一番の
Though
希
my
望なんで
greatest
すよ。
hope is that you will surround the place so that the criminal can't get away.
竜宮さんは交渉も上手です
Yugu-san, you're good at negotiating too.
参りましたよ
I'm throwing in the towel.
降参です
I surrender.
どういうこと
What
だ
are you
よ。
talking about?
警察の人がみーちゃんの家を包囲しておいてくれる
Policemen
なら、
surround Michan's house.
これが万が一の時の保険に
That
なる
will
の。
be insurance for the worst case scenario.
万が一の時
For
の。
the worst case. For the worst case, huh? Plus, it would be... Wait, oh, whoa, why do I feel like... Oh, okay. Plus, it would be another way of pressuring Mion to give herself up, wouldn't it?
ああ大石より熊ちゃんへ
Ah, Oishida Kuma-chan.
大石より熊ちゃんへ
Oishida Kuma-chan. This is Kuma. Go ahead.
お友達が二人園崎家へ遊びに行きます
Our two friends are going to play at the Sonozaki house.
増援をかけられるよう準備だけよろしく願います
Make arrangements so that we can reinforce them if needed. Roger. Their altogether too short conversation implied that our questioning was already a part of their plans.
では参りましょうか
Let's get going.
お茶菓子でも買っていきます
Want to buy some tea biscuits on the way there? Neither Rena nor I went along with Oishi-san's stupid joke. You know it's bad when Rena doesn't go. Oh, wow. How long was that? That didn't feel like an hour. That couldn't have been an hour. We're not ending here, naturally. Oh, but at the same time. Okay, let me see how long this has been. It's only 33 minutes. Oh, crap. It's only been 33 minutes. Okay, yeah, no, we're not stopping here. Oshi-san stopped the car at the place where we always waited for Mion. Come to think of it, I've never been to Mion's house before. You haven't been to either of their house, anyone's houses. Only Rika and Sadako's, and that was because, like, they went missing. That is kind of depressing, though. Never went to a friend's house? I've only heard that it's right down this road.
お送りできるのはここま
As
で
far
で
as I
す
can take you.
情報では園崎本家は自宅周辺に監視カメラ
According
を
to
か
our
なり配置してい
information,
る
there
ら
are
しいん
quite
で
a
すよ
few security cameras set up on the premises.
でもご安心
Still, don't worry.
何度か資格をついて突入できる位置に若いのが何人
Got a
か
bunch of
待機していま
youngsters
す
ready and waiting to slip past them and go in.
指向性マイクで中を伺ってますからお二人が大きな悲鳴を上げてくだされば
We'll be
すぐにわかります
monitoring the inside with the one-way mic. So if you two give a loud scream, we'll know right away.
絶対に説得しますから。 自首を認めてくださいね。
We'll persuade her for sure, so please be ready for her to turn herself in. Oh man, in both our eyes was determination. It was the only method available to us for lightening the sins of our good friend.
くれぐれも注意してください。
Be plenty careful, you hear?
今さら信じないでしょうが、できることならあなたたちに犠牲になってほしくないんですから。
Probably don't believe it right now, but I don't want you two being sacrificed if at all possible. Do you? I don't know. Like, I wanted to believe in your good intentions, but like, you're using us as bait. Like,
本当に今さらだな。
you're right about that. With that rude response, we left the car. Clinging humidity and voices of the Higurashi greeted us. I'd have never expected this would be happening today.
行こう。
Let's go,
ケイチ君。
Keiichi-kun. Prince took the lead and began to walk. Down the road I'd never been.
レナはミオンの家には行ったことがあるんだよな。
You've been to Mion's house before, right?
うん。
Yeah,
何度もあるよ。
a few times.
とても大きな家でね。
It's a really big house.
お庭なんか山が丸ごと入るくらいあるんだよ。
You could fit a mountain into their backyard too. Let me know. Okay, random point in the video to stop real quick, but I'm gonna ask this now. Let me know if like about the audio, because sometimes it like changes. Like, cause like right now, the music's like quiet and I can hear it, but like I don't know if you guys can hear it well or not. I really just I'll have to check post, like obviously recording, but because obviously since this is probably like the end, I want to like keep these settings for chapter 3. But okay, hold on. Let me show you I'm gonna show you the settings real quick. It's a random time to pause, but I'm gonna show you, and myself I guess too, so that way I remember them. So these are the settings I have. So with all, yeah. So if you think I should turn something up or down, let me know. Or if this is good, like, to everybody, let me know. I really hope multiple people can give me an answer, that way I know. But if not, that's fine. But anyway,
松茸が取れるとかなんとかで、
we're back into it.
いつもは柵がしてあるんだけど
You
ね。
should pick mushrooms and stuff, though there are fences everywhere. Big enough to fit a mountain. That was amazing. One of the 3 families controlling Hinamizawa, and the head family of the Sonozaki clan. Perhaps there was something to be said about its magnitude. The path continued onward, level and uneventful. There were metal fences along its edges, and beyond them were woods with trees growing thickly. Fences were high. The tops of them bent inward, sticking out like sharp spears. Plus, there was dangerous-looking barbed wire wrapping them. No one could look at them and not feel intimidated. Wow, yeah, this really is intimidating. Jeez. In addition, there were signboards hung up here and there along the fence. Private property of the Sonozaki family. Entrance forbidden. Beware of venomous snakes. Activate security cameras. Wow, that really is. Intruders will be charged an entry fee of 1 million yen! How much is 1 million yen in US? Hold on, I gotta look that up. How much is 1 million yen? Goddamn $6,764! Are you serious? Almost $7,000. Oh my god, bro. 1 million yen though? Like, that's crazy. God damn.
この森、いや、山か。
This forest, or should I say mountain,
まるまる庭なのか。
is this all their yard?
庭というか
It's more like
領地だね。
their domain.
見ての通り私有地ではあるけど、
As you
手入
can
れも何
see,
もしてないから、
it's private property, but nobody maintains it.
散策ができるような気持ちいい森というわけでもない
The
し、
forest isn't really the kind that you can go hiking in. So you could say that again. really did feel like a neglected, savage woodland. It was dark and damp, and certainly not a forest that made you want to go in for a nice walk. Maybe that's just what happens when a landowner has too much land. Like Oishi-san said, there were security cameras hung up all over the place. Though they had been weathered by wind and rain, casting doubt as to whether they were even functional.
俺たちが来るのミオンはあれを通して見てるんだろうか。
I wonder if Mion is watching us as we come to her.
見てないと思うな。
I don't think she is.
だってみーちゃんの家は基本的におばあちゃんとみーちゃん本人の2人しか住んでないんだも
I
の。
don't think she is. The only people living in Mi-chan's house are generally her and her grandma after all.
カメラを見張ってる人がいないし。
There's nobody to watch the cameras. You know what? Just for like a tiny bit, I'm keeping this art style up. What a useless security system.
みーちゃんのお父さんがいろいろ大変な人みたいでね。
Well, Mi-chan's father seems like a pretty tough person to get along with.
だから一族がみんなで集まるときには
So,
ちゃんと機能しているらしいよ。
whenever everyone in the family is getting together, the cameras are apparently working properly. That's right. Mion's father, he was a big shot Yakuza, wasn't he? Rena smoothly danced around the answer as she explained. At last, a huge gate, as big as I'd imagined, appeared. Was she living by herself with her grandmother in a house with such a grand gateway?
いるかな。
I wonder if she's here. Beep. The old buzzer made a dull sound. Was it cut off in the middle and not getting to the house? I waited long enough without a response for me to start thinking like that. However, we finally heard footsteps walking through gravel on the other side of the gate. I nervously balled my hands, my palms now sweating into fists. There was the clang of a bolt being released, and the gate opened slightly. The person peeking out the gap was none other than Mion. Oh boy.
こんな時間に珍しいね。
Well, this is unusual.
2人とも学校は？
Aren't you two going to school? Mion didn't seem all that surprised at visitors arriving in the morning, which wasn't a normal time. In fact, she almost seemed relaxed, as if she knew we were coming beforehand. Well, yeah, the cameras.
学校は
We
休んだよ。
stayed home today.
Hmm. ケイちゃんはともかく、レナも？
Kei-chan is one thing, but you too, Rena?
2人とも不良なんだからな。
You're such troublemakers. Mion smiled lightly, in the way that the Mion we knew always did.
立ち話もなんでしょ。
Well, let's not just stand here.
入りなよ。
Come on in. She gestured for us to follow her. I hesitated for a moment, looking at Rena.
行こう。
Let's go. Rena smiled cheerfully, as if she were passing through the gates of a good friend's house, and then did just that. I rally myself, and then go through the gate too. On the other side, it hadn't been maintained very well, but it was clear that the lot was magnificently wide. It wasn't quite what you'd think of when you hear mansion, but it was very clearly a vast place.
ケイちゃんはうちに来るの初めてだったっけ？
Was this the first time you've been here, Kei-chan?
あ
Yeah.
あ、でけえ家じゃないか。
This house is enormous.
今時合掌造りなんて流行らないよ。
Steep thatched roofs aren't in fashion anymore.
観光資源にはなるかもしれないけどね。
This place could be a tourist attraction.
私は早くごくごく平均的な鉄筋コンクリートに建て替えてほしいと
I
思ってる
want
よ。
to rebuild it using totally average and boring reinforced concrete soon. Mion really smiled as she said that, then closed the gate and relocked the heavy bolt.
気にしないで。
Don't worry about it.
最近は物騒だからね。
Things have been dangerous lately.
日中でもこれくらいはしておかないと。
Gotta do at least this much during the daytime.
ああ、そうだな。
You're right. Maybe it's my imagination, but I thought I saw the hint of a shout on her smile.
では、ご案内申し上げます。
Well then, good sir and madam, I shall show you inside.
どうぞこちらへ。
Please come this way. Mion bowed to us like a worker at a high-class hotel, then pivoted on her heel and began to walk. Rena gripped my stiffening arm lightly.
ケイチ君、硬くなりすぎかな。
Keiichi-kun, you're too tense.
私たちはみーちゃんに会いに来たんだよ。
We came to visit Mi-chan, remember?
そんなに緊張することはないんだから。
You don't need to be that nervous. That's right. When I get nervous, I tend to let everything show on my face. I'll stop tensing up. Even if something were to happen, there were two of us. Oshi-san's subordinates were waiting outside the gate for us too. There was nothing to worry about. After thinking about it that much, I realized my nervousness was already gone, and laughed at myself.
なんだこりゃ。
What's this?
ミオン、この新聞紙の上に置いてある漬物石は何だ？
Mion, what's with this stone on top of the newspapers?
邪魔だぞ。
It's in the way. There's a pile of newspapers on the floor of the entrance, and there was a large rock on top of them. I didn't understand why something like that was here. Rena listened to me looking at it questioningly and giggled.
レナは知ってるのか？
Rena, do you know?
これはなんだ？
What is this?
何かのおまじないか？
Some kind of good luck charm?
ケイちゃんがよくわからないなら、それをどかしてそこに靴を脱いでもいいんだけど。
If you don't really know, then feel free to move it out of the way and put your shoes there.
ケイチ君、その石の真上にね。
Keiichi-kun,
ツバメ
there's
の
a
巣
nest
があ
of
るの。
swallows right above that stone.
え？
Huh?
あ、
Oh,
本当だ。
you're right.
人様の家なのに、ツバメが勝手に入ってきて巣を作ってるってわけ。
This house is for people, but swallows still come in without permission and make nests.
代々語り継いでるのか。季節になると決まってここに巣を作るんだよ。
Oh, well, I just lost where I was. Oh, it must be like a tradition for them. Whenever spring comes, they always make a nest here. What do these swallows look like? It's kind of annoying, though. I'm looking for swallows.
つまりね、
quick.
そこはツバメの糞とかが落ちてきて危ないから靴を脱がないようにっていう目印
Oh,
な
it's
の。
a bird. Oh, those. Oh. In other words, it's a sign not take off your shoes here. So your swallow poop could end up in them. Oh, I said your swallow poop. Because swallow poop could end up in them. Couldn't help but laugh at the silly contrivance? I don't know. My laughter naturally spread to the other two.
園崎家も大昔、養蚕とかやってたことがあるらしくてね。
Oh god. A really long time ago, the Sonozaki family apparently cultivated silkworms. Oh god, silkworms. I remember those. Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of mealworms. I'm so stupid, bro. I thought mealworms. Voice crack. Ignore that. I thought mealworms.
ご先祖様はツバメ退治に躍起にな
Our
ったそうだけど
ancestors
ね。
get all worked up over exterminating the swallows.
それを思うと、これはちょっと罰当たりなのかな。
You think of it that way, maybe this is just our desserts. This is our just desserts. Oh my god.
あ、上がって上がって。
Anyway, come on in. The inside of the house wasn't very bright at all. It was dimly lit, in fact, but mysteriously I could still feel an elegance to the place. Mion seemed to want a more modern building, but traditional houses like this aren't bad either.
冗談でしょ。
You're kidding, right?
隙間風は入るし、冬場は寒いし。
There's a terrible draft, and the winters are freezing.
人の家を勝手に文化財にして改築を妨害しないでもらいたいね。
Don't go making my house into property of culture significance and getting in the way of renovations, got it?
一番の理想はケイちゃんの家でしょ。
What I want is a house like yours, Kei-chan.
あれは羨ましいよ
Pretty
な。
jealous of it. Why?
冬場は暖かそうだし。
Seems like it would be warm in the winter.
でも雪下ろしは大変かもね。
Oh, but snowfall seems like it would be a problem.
雪下ろしは大変って。
Snowfall's a problem.
そんなに雪が降るのか？
Does it seem to be
ひなみさん
all like
は。
that much snow?
緯度は関東より南なくらいだろ。
Our
ここ
latitude
いらっ
is
て
south of
暖かい土地なんじゃ
Kanto.
ないのか？
Isn't this region warm? Huh.
ケイチくん知らないの？
You don't know Keiichi-kun?
ひなみ沢は豪雪地帯なんだよ。
Hinamizawa is in an area that gets heavy snowfalls.
大雪が降るとみんな埋まっちゃうの。
When we get a lot, everyone gets buried.
玄関なんか埋まっちゃう時もあるんだよ。
Sometimes you can't even get out of your house. Huh.
止めた車が完全に埋まっちゃって見つからないことだってあるんだから。
Sometimes your car gets totally buried too, and you can't find where it is. Dang. I wasn't aware of that. Hinamizawa, was that bad a place in the winter? Oh god. Only didn't take place only in the summer. Come to think of it, my dad, he said something like, this place got plenty of snow, so we could have fun building igloos. Building igloos?! Still, your front door getting buried and not being able to find your car? Sounds horrible. That's way too much snow. Christ.
地理の授業で習ったでしょ？
Remember from geography class, right?
日本海側は大陸からの寒風がそのまま流れ
The
てくるから
western
ね。
side of Japan gets cold winds from Asia.
山脈で遮られてぬくぬくしてるような軟弱な太平洋側とはわけが違う
We're
んだか
different
ら。
from those softies protected by the mountains. Nice and warm by the Pacific Ocean.
俺
Dang.
軟弱でもぬくぬくでも何でもいい。
Totally okay with being a softie and nice and warm.
寒いのは嫌だ。
I hate the cold.
これは今年の冬はケイちゃんを寒さに慣らすための強化合宿が必要だね。
We'll have to have a training camp to get Kei-chan used to the cold weather this winter then. Oh man.
嫌だ嫌だ、全力で嫌だ。
No way, no way. There's no way that's happening.
寒いのは嫌いだ。強化合宿も嫌いだ。両方合わさったらもっと嫌いだ。
I hate the cold. I hate the training camps too. And I hate them even more put together. Mion laughed more uproariously than she ever had, then told us she'd bring out some tea and left her seat for the moment.
でもね、
Still,
冬は冬で楽しいことがいっぱいあるん
there's
だ
a lot
よ。
of fun things to do in the winter.
冬の部活もね、きっと楽しいんだよ。
Bet our club will be a blast then. Yeah, yeah.
冬の部活か。実に嫌な響きのある部活だぞ。
Our club continuing activities through the winter sounds horrible.
寒中水泳やら雪中行軍やら。
Like swimming in the cold or marching in the snow.
ここはいつから八甲田山になったんだ。
When we turn into Mount Redhorn.
確かに冬場の罰ゲームは辛いのが多いね。
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of tough punishment games for the winter season.
雪が降ってる校庭でリオのカーニバルをさせられたことある。
One time, she made us have a Rio carnival in the schoolyard while snow was falling. I see the terror of our club that cared not for the season. Our club cared not for the... Oh, no. I was right, I think. The victor would be decided by who could best adapt to the winter-only events.
雪合戦もやるし、かき氷の大食いとか雪中宝探しとか。
We do snowball fights and shaped ice eating contests and treasure hunts in the snow.
だからなんで外で遊ぶんだよ。
Wait, why is everything outside?
雪が降ってんだからぬくぬくとお部屋でテーブルゲームで遊べばいいじゃないか
Why can't we go
よ。
play tabletop games in a nice warm room while it's snowing?
あ、ケイチくん、そんなこと言ってると冬場はいっぱい負けちゃうかもね。
Whoa, Keiichi-kun, if you're saying things like that, then you're gonna lose a lot this winter.
ケイチくん、罰ゲームいっぱいでレナは負けない。はう。
We'll have lots of punishment games, and Rena won't lose. Aw crap, I didn't mean to do that. Stop it.
はうじゃねえ。
Don't give me that! Little things with a cross chop to the head.
盛り上がってるな。
You're sure having fun.
壁が薄いんだからぶち抜かないようにしてよね。
Our walls aren't very thick, so be careful not to go flying through any, okay? Oh my god, yeah, don't fly through any of them. Paper sliding door opened, and Mion returned with a pot and a complete tea set.
お茶受けはごませんでいい？
Do you want some sesame senbei to go with that?
羊羹とか気の利いたものがなくて申し訳な
I
い
don't have
ね。
much in the way of bean paste or other good stuff.
あ、いいよいいよ。別にお茶を飲みに来たわけじゃないし。
It's okay, it's okay. We didn't really come here to drink tea anyway. With those words, a smile disappeared from Rena's face. Yeah, it's time to get into it. It was fun while it lasted, but no more. Oh god. Ah, she did it. That one careless statement reminded us what had been reminded us of what we had nearly forget. I had wanted to enjoy this peaceful time for a little longer, but we put an end to that with those honestly careless words. When she noticed a smile disappeared from Rena's expression, Mion too changed hers. It was as if the cheerful air that was like a warm spring day until a moment ago had slipped through the cracks in the paper door, and altogether disappeared. There was no point in regretting it now. We did not come here today to chat and enjoy ourselves, unfortunately. Mion silently poured the tea. During that time, both Rena and I sat kneeling without uttering a word.
どうぞ
Here you are.
召し上がれ。
Drink up. We couldn't even mutter a word of acknowledgement at those natural words of courtesy.
毒なんか入ってないよ。
There's no poison in it or anything.
そこまで信用ないかな。
You just trust me that much?
心外だね。
That's upsetting. Mion gave me a bitter smile at that and let her shoulders droop. God, I am already stiff with tension. We all remain silent. My shoulders just like, they hurt. Like, they're just like, I'm scared. Hoping that someone else would speak up first. That was, however, the one thing we didn't want to do, and so we sat for a long time. Oh, whoops, I think I
お
said
い
that.
おい、ケイちゃんもレナも。
At last, Mion smiled scornfully and opened her mouth to speak. Hey now, Kei-chan, Rena.
逆はそっちなんだよ。
You're the guest.
用があって来たんじゃないの？
Didn't you come here for something?
そっちから切り出してくれなきゃ、おじさんも困っちゃうんだけどな。
If you don't speak up first, this old man won't know what to do. Rena and I exchanged glances. We both resigned ourselves. Rena opened her mouth to speak first, so I stopped her.
ケイチ君
Keiichi-kun,
いいんだ。
it's okay.
俺は来るべくして来たんだ。
I needed to come here.
俺から喋らせてくれ。
Let me talk first.
うん
Okay,
わかった
I understand. Here we go.
ケイちゃんが私に何の
What would you-
話かな？
What would Kei-chan have to tell me?
お宅のお嬢さんを私にください。
Please give me your daughter's hand in marriage, maybe?
ダメだよ。
Can't do
う
that.
ちのレナはケイちゃんとは釣り合わないね。
My little Rena and Kei-chan aren't meant for each other.
味噌汁で顔を洗って出直しておいで。
Go wash your face with miso soup and try again later. Why would I do that? Afterwards, I thought her mean remarks were Mion's own way of showing consideration. Mion had said those mean things in a totally normal voice, and it drained the tension from my shoulders.
ミオ、
Mion,
まず
first,
謝ることがある。
I have something to apologize for. Well, there's two things, I guess, but which one?
ケイちゃんが
You do?
何を？
For what? Oh, I mean, what for? Mion pretended that she didn't know what I was talking about, but I'd clearly gotten my point across.
あの、渡流しの晩、
Well, on the night of Watanagashi,
俺は神社の
the,
細部殿に
the ritual
入った
storehouse
んだ。
behind the shrine, I went in there. Yep, there it is. I could see Mion's expression immediately become harder.
入ってはいけない場所だったのは知ってた。
I knew it was somewhere I wasn't supposed to go, but
でもほんのちょっとした探検のつもりで
it was
悪
just
気はなかっ
supposed
た
to
ん
be
だ
a
よ。
little bit of exploration. We didn't mean anything by it.
でもいけないことだったんだよな。
Even so, I still shouldn't have done it.
謝る。
So I apologize.
この通り。
I'm sorry. To display my deepest sincerity, I pressed my forehead to the table. I'd meant it as my way of whatever! Figured it wouldn't feel sincere enough if I raised my head right away, so I left it there on the table for a while. It didn't say anything. With my face down, I couldn't tell what sort of expression Mion had. Only the voices of the Higurashi filled the room. Mixed with them, I could hear the sounds of the clock ticking. That was all. When I started to struggle to breathe from having my head down for so long, Mion told me to stop.
参ったな。
You got me there.
いきなり直球勝負で来るとは思わなかったよ。
I didn't expect you to pitch it to me straight.
参った参った。
You got me on the ropes. I looked up to see that Mion's face was calm, but she was smiling faintly.
ケイちゃんにとっては面白半分の探検でも、それが笑い事では済まないと思ってる人た
If
ち
you
も大
understand
勢
that
いるって
even
こ
though
と
it
を
was only a
ちょ
casual
っとでも理解し
exploration
て
for
くれた
you,
なら、
Kei-chan, that there are a lot of people who think it's no laughing matter,
それでいいよ。
then it's okay.
郷に入りては郷に従えって
There's an
昔
old
から言うもん
saying,
ね。
when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Oh my god.
あれからも
I've heard that saying so many
う何
times.
日も経ってる。
It's been days since then.
今更だとは思うが、
Maybe too
謝る。
late, but I apologize.
悪かった。
What I did was wrong.
許してくれ。
Please forgive me. I could feel pitiful tears welling up within me. If I had done this sooner, maybe nothing terrible would have happened.
いいよ。
It's okay.
ケイちゃんが悪いことをしたと思ったならそれでいいんじゃない？
If you know what you did was bad, then that's enough, right? But I don't understand. It almost felt like it was someone else's problem, and I wasn't happy about it.
兄ちゃん、
Mi-chan,
ケイチ君はちゃんと真面目に謝ってるんだよ。
Keiichi-kun is apologizing seriously.
兄ちゃんも真剣に答えてあげるべきじゃないのかな。かな。
I think maybe you should respond seriously as well. As well, like, what was the point?
私は真剣だよ。
I am being serious, though.
レナには私が不真面目そうに見える？
Do I not look serious to you, Rena?
見えるよ。
You don't. Wow. Rena's giving her tit for tat, so the room's atmosphere quickly began to grow sharper. She was right. Even though I came here to speak from the heart like this, it's felt like she hasn't been taking this seriously. Obviously, Rena isn't fond of that.
ケイチ君、
Keiichi-kun,
もういいよ。
she can get up now.
全部話そう。
Just tell her everything. Everything, huh?
兄ちゃんもそれを望んでいるようだし。
That looks like what Mi-chan wants too. Here it is. What we've all been waiting for. I had known it would turn out like this from the beginning. Hadn't I come here prepared for that? I mustered my willpower and bit my lip.
ミオン、
Mion,
おととい、リカちゃんとサトコを呼んだろ。
you called Rika-chan and Sadako the day before last, right?
覚えはないけど、
I don't remember doing so.
そう思うに足る根拠があるなら聞かせてもらえる？
If you have a reason to think so, could you let me hear it?
夕方過ぎのお夕食前の時間、
It was evening, before dinner time.
リカちゃんが来たはずだよ。
Rika-chan should have come here,
お醤油の大瓶を持って
bringing a big bottle of soy sauce
お裾分けしてもらいに。
to have you share some with her. Mion was trying to keep from showing any reaction, but I did miss her eyelid twitching just a little bit.
どうしてそう思う？
Why do you think that?
そんなに難しい話じゃない。
It's hard, not hard to understand.
みーちゃんも見たでしょ？
Mi-chan, you saw it too, didn't you?
リカちゃんの部屋。
Rika-chan's room. Mion put a finger to her forehead, acting like she was thinking.
冷ややっこがあるのに、
There
お
was
醤
chilled
油がなかっ
tofu,
た。
but no soy sauce.
そして流しの下にあるはずの醤油の大瓶も
Plus,
瓶ごとなかった。
the big bottle of soy sauce that should have been under the sink was nowhere to be found.
何それ。
What?
それが私のとこへ来る理由になるわけ。
Is that why she would have come here?
ミオン、いい加減にしろ。
Mion, drop the axe.
お前が自分で回覧板に書いたんじゃないか。
You wrote it yourself on the notice, didn't you?
醤油をお裾分けするって。
That you'd share your soy sauce? Mion scratched her head. I heard her ever so faintly click her tongue. It was as though we found out she'd purposely given too little change to a servant. That's all I could feel from her.
そしてみーちゃんはリカちゃんを隠してしまった。
Then Mi-chan, you, Rika-chan, you hit her. We know what you wanted. We already know. Rena hesitated for a moment. You could tell that she didn't want to use the word erased, and that she was struggling to find another word.
そして
Oh, whoops.
本当はそれで終わりのはずだったんだよね。
That was really supposed to be the end, wasn't it?
みーちゃんにとっては。
For you, anyway.
そりゃあどういう意味かな。
What are you talking about?
リカちゃんがみーちゃんの家に行くことをさとこちゃんに言い残していたのは誤算だったんじゃないかな。
You didn't foresee that Rika-chan would tell Sadako-chan that she was going to your house, did you, Mi-chan? Whoa.
そしてさとこちゃんはみーちゃんの家に電話をした。
Then Sadako-chan called.
うちのリカがお邪魔してませんこと？
Might Rika be imposing on you?
うん。
Yeah,
きっとこんな感じ。
probably just like that.
似てる似てる。
You sound just like her.
みーちゃんはちょっとまずいと思ったんだよ
Okay,
ね。
that wasn't admission. I don't know what is. Mi-chan, you were in a bit of a bind then.
リカちゃんがここに来たことを知る人間がいたから。
Because someone knew that Rika-chan had come here.
だからさとこちゃんも誘い出そうと
You
思っ
decided
た。
to lure Sadako-chan here too.
誘い出す。
Lure her out?
へえ。 どんな感じでかな。
Excuse me. Like how, I wonder? Mion prodded Rena on, as if trying to get to the good part of an interesting story. I, however, knew. I'd been watching Mion change the whole time. She was restlessly twirling her fingers. She had clearly lost her calm. Of course, it was really a slight thing, and only I, who had been watching her this whole time, would have known. Mion was panicking. What Rena was saying must have been a bullseye.
きっとこんな感じだよ。
Probably went like this.
さとこ、
Satoko,
実は今日食事を作りすぎちゃったんだけど、
I
食べ
actually
に
made
来
too
ない？
much dinner today, so why don't you come over and eat?
リカちゃんは先に来て、もう食べてるよ。
Rika-chan came earlier and already ate some.
こんな感じ。
Something like that. Scratch. Mion's nails dug into her knee.
へえ。電話の内容の記録テープがあるわけでもないの
There's
に。
no recordings of the
ど
phone
うしてそこま
conversations
で。
or anything, so how do you know that? That much?
冷蔵庫にさとこちゃんの作った2人分のお夕食が丸々手つかずでラップに包まれて入ってたから。
I know it because the dinner that Sadako-chan made for the two of them was plastic wrapped in their refrigerator and hadn't been touched. For a few moments, Mion's face was frozen in utter amazement. She looked like she couldn't believe that this person in front of her was Rena.
そんなことでどうやったら電話で喋った内容まで察し
It
が
was
つい
just
ちゃうわ
that
け。
to go on. How did you even guess what we said over the phone?
長くなるから説明は省くけど、
It's a long explanation, so I'll get to the point.
冷蔵庫の中身がみーちゃんの呼び出した話の内容まで如実に物語っちゃってるの。
The contents of that refrigerator provided a vivid account of what you said over the phone when you lured her out. Mion's jaw remained on the floor. That was the only way I could describe her face.
これは
That's...
とんだ名探偵が身近にいたもんだよ。
I had no idea I had such an incredible detective right next to me this whole time.
まさか冷蔵庫の中身だけで電話の内容まで見破るとは。
Can't believe you'd figured out everything, down to the phone conversation, just from what was inside the fridge.
参ったな。
You got me there.
参った参った。
You got me, you got me. As if a dam had burst, Mion convulsed into laughter. Her laughter, though, definitely didn't make us want to laugh as well. Mion grew tired of her dumb laughter and heaved a big sigh and scratched her head. It almost seemed like Mion had lost a detective punishment game for the club or something, and her punishment had been decided. How fun that would be if it were true.
とんだ名探偵か。
Incredible detective.
みーちゃんこそ大石さんがした会話の内容までよく察しがつくね。
You're the one who guessed what Oishi-san told us.
大石さんも私のこととんだ名探偵って言ったもの。
He called me an incredible detective too. As soon as she heard Oishi-san's name, Mion's eyes began to display panic more clearly, so that anyone would be able to tell.
ミオン、
Mion,
警察はもうとっくにお前を疑ってるんだ。
the police have suspected you for a long time now.
この家も大石さんの部下が踏み込もうと今も様子を伺ってる。
Oishi-san's officers have had the house under observation so that they could break in at any time. Mion attempted to feign calm, but it looked like she was having a hard time with that. Part of her couldn't believe that the police had her surrounded. She closely examined Rena's facial expression. However, she couldn't detect a hint of falsehood. Finally, Mion seemed to accept the fact that the police were encircling the house.
村長さんもみーちゃんが。
Was the mayor Mi-chan too?
富武さんと高野さんもミオンなのか？
Were Tomitake-san and Takano-san you as well? Mion didn't answer our rapid-fire questions. I can clearly see impatience in her eyes, which are still feigning calm. Yeah, you guys gotta chill. Oh, whoa. This is a new expression, I think. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, this is new. This has to be new. I don't remember this. I haven't seen this yet, I think. At that moment, the atmosphere in the room changed completely. Mion's expression also changed. The impatience and wonderment in her expression disappeared, and she became so solemn you would think she was about to conduct a tea ceremony. I could sense it. It was now, in this moment, Mion had ceased to be Mion, but had changed into Mion Sonozaki, the current heir to the Sonozaki house. That solemn atmosphere about her was clearly abnormal, and was entirely different from that of the Mion I knew. Now I could believe it. Now I could believe that she was the young leader who commanded the entire Sonozaki clan. Mion quietly placed both of her hands on the tatami mat and gave a beautifully elegant bow, as if this was really were a tea ceremony, and named herself.
初めてご挨拶申し上げます。
We meet for the first time.
園崎本家当主跡継ぎ
I am the current heir to the Sonozaki house.
ミオンでございます。
My name is Mion. Mion's movements were so elegant that they could cut, and we couldn't even answer her. All Ren and I could do was watch, baffled at her actions, which we could never imagine the normal her doing.
本日はようこそ園崎本家においでくださいました。
I would like to welcome you to the Sonozaki main house today.
当主お寮に代わりまして
I I will
皆
greet
様に
you
ご挨拶申し上げます。
all in place of our leader, Oryu.
皆様におかれましては、いろいろお尋ねになりたいことがおありの様子。
Seems you have various things you would like to ask.
私にお話しできることでしたら、包み隠さずお
If I
話
can
し
be
したい
of
と
any
存じます。
assistance, then I would like to answer it without concealing anything. What? What did Mion just say? Mion said she would answer anything we asked. There was a strong light of resolve in her eyes.
本当に
It's really
何を尋ねてもいいんだな。
alright if we ask anything then?
知る限りをお話しいたし
I'll
ましょ
tell
う。
you everything I know.
皆様もそれを望んでここにいらした
That
の
is
で
why
しょ
you
う
have
から。
come here after all. Rena and I exchanged glances. There was a mountain of things we wanted to ask Mion. However, we hesitated for a moment on what we should ask first. First question Rena gave was extremely abstract, but it was the question everyone wanted to know right about now.
どうして
Why
こんなことを？
would you do this? That was what I wanted to ask as well. Why would you do this? I didn't only go for Riki-chan and Sadako. Went for the mayor, Takano-san, and Tomitake-san as well. No, even farther back, for all the incidents that had been occurring every year. For a little while, Mion couldn't respond. Right when we realized that the question was too vague and tried to put it into more concrete terms, she finally opened her mouth to speak.
その問いに対する答えは少し長いものになります。
Will take some time.
それでもよろしければどうかご清
That
聴
is
いただきたく
acceptable,
存じます。
however, and I would by all means like you to hear it. She spoke clearly. She spoke with the clarity that a grandmother might use when telling a story from a long time ago.
ひなみ沢村がかつて鬼ヶ淵村と呼ばれていたことをご存知ですか？
Whoa! Do you know that Himizawa used to be called Onigafuchi Village? Rena nodded slightly, then shot me a glance asking me if I did. I returned her nod. Himizawa was once called Onigafuchi Village. Yes, yeah, we know that. Heard all about it that night from Takano-san in the ritual storehouse. They firmly believed that demon blood ran through their veins and cut off all contact with the outside world. They were worshipped by those in the village at the foot of the mountains, and treated like transcendents, those capable of magic.
そうです。
That's right.
鬼ヶ淵村のご先祖様たちは鬼の血を引く
That's
誇り高き仙人た
right.
ちでし
Our
た。
ancestors in Onigafuchi Village were proud transcendents descended from the demons.
ふもとの村々の人たちは崇めそして敬いました。
Those in the villages at the foot of the mountains worshipped and honored them.
ですがそういう空気も徳川の世が終わるとともに廃れていきまし
That
た。
all decayed with the end of the Tokugawa era. Black ships arrived. The era of the samurai ended. The era of national isolation ended. The tradition of worshipping Onigafuchi Village quickly disappeared. I really do like this shot right here they're showing of the village. Like, I never really look at it because I'm reading. But, like, I just want to appreciate this, like, background shot. Like, just, like, the whole village. Like, oh my god. I gotta, like, take better... I gotta, like, ooh. Like, you gotta appreciate these backgrounds sometimes because it just looks amazing. I mean, look at this. Like, there's the village down there. You can see those houses way down there. Got that little mountain over there. Like, oh my god. I know there's a real life location, but like, oh my god, I want to see this real life location. It looks amazing. Those things that linger from the past were all to be detested. That was the kind of era it became.
明治になり古い歴史を持つ鬼ヶ淵村の名称は一方的にひなみ沢村に改められてしま
The
いました。
Meiji era began, and the name of Onigafuchi Village, with its long history, was forcibly changed to Hinamizawa Village. Okay. Some of this doesn't seem believable. Like, transcendence from demons. Like, I don't know if I want to believe it. Like, oh my god.
古い因習を一掃しようとする明治政府の思惑が強く
I
働い
have
たの
heard
だ
the
と聞かさ
Meiji
れていま
government
す。
strongly wished to erase the old customs. The abolition of feudal domains and the establishment of prefectures. An era had begun. Seeing Japan sprinting up the stairs that were beyond their means to try and reach the same level of the rest of the world. All things in the Western style were to be extolled, while all old traditional things were to be scorned. That was the sort of era it was.
そういう時代の激変の中で滝壺に落ちていく花びらの
Our
ように
ancestors in Onigafuchi village were proud transcendents descended from the demons.
あっという間に鬼ヶ淵村は消えてしまったのです。
Onigafuchi village disappeared in a flash. At last, Japan, provoked by the great European powers colonizing countries in Asia one by one, began a policy to increase its wealth and military power so that it could stand as a global power in its own right. Conscription began, and they won war after war. The first Sino-Japanese War, and the Russo-Japanese War, and until the Pacific War broke out. They recklessly climbed the staircase towards modernization.
この頃にはもう鬼ヶ淵村の不可侵性は失われていま
At
し
the
た。
time, Onigafuchi village had already lost its impenetrability.
かつて千人と崇められた村人たち
Why
は
did that voice line sound
否認
different?
扱いを受け
That voice line sounded different, like in quality, compared to this one right here, where it's like, oh, it's lost its impenetrability. The villagers, once worshipped as transcendents, were now on the receiving end of inhuman treatment.
神聖な鬼ヶ淵村はいつの間にか疫病患者の隔離集落の慣れの果てであるという根も葉もないレッテルを貼られ
The sacred
苦難の時
Onigafuchi.
代を迎えることになったのです。
So weird. I also never see, like, my monitor is so big that like you can't see it, but like the lip sync is like throwing me off. Like I'm noticing new details for some reason right now, but like the lip sync throws me off. Sacred Onigafuchi village had been groundlessly labeled an isolated village, all those afflicted with incurable diseases. A mere shadow of its former self. That part is actually very interesting, of the incurable diseases part. And stood on the whatever, of an era of hardship. Thus began harsh days where one would suffer unresponsible discrimination just because people knew one was from Onigafuchi. The children in the village at the foot of the mountain were taught not to go near Hinamizawa because filthy germs were rampant there. Children who had come into contact with children in Hinamizawa would cry and wail as their parents purified the spot they were touched by rubbing salt on it. Wow! One of the adults said to the children that if you got lost in Hinamizawa, you'd be kidnapped by demons, cut up into pieces, and devoured. Wow, first of all, why are you telling your kid that? To scare them? Like, okay, never ever go near the terrifying village of the man-eating demons. That's what he taught them. Another said that during a famine long ago, people of Hinamizawa gathered up all the corpses they discarded into the dry riverbeds, then cooked and ate them in order to survive. Groundless stories, but said in such seriousness. How do people honestly believe some of this? Baseless slander added to baseless slander, making Onigafuchi village's historically accurate, thrilling history all the more believable. Perhaps the chain of undue discrimination was a manifestation of the people's anxiety towards the uncertain times. Of course, the story didn't end only with the perspective of children. If anyone found out you were from Onigafuchi, you would be turned down from any job you applied for. Really? People would even go back on engagements and marriage proposals. Wow. As for the marriages where one partner had lied about it, as soon as the truth got out, they were made to divorce. That's so stupid. That doesn't mean you like them at all. Like, that just means it's not true love. Like, bro, it's so weird.
裁判も起こしました。
It even caused trials.
出身の問題は離婚する重要な理由にはなり得ないと訴えて
They would appeal that where one came from wasn't an important enough reason to divorce.
でも敗訴しました。
They would, however, lose their case.
出身の虚偽は結婚の上での重大な詐称行為にあたるのだそうで
Lying about one's birthplace apparently constitutes a heavy act of misrepresentation in marriage.
ひどいね、
That's
そんなの。
terrible. You're right. Oh my god, you were absolutely right there. I've heard about such discrimination towards those in small villages in civics class. Just because others knew you were from a tiny hamlet, you be subjected to every societal disadvantage there was. A modern form of bullying and one of the worst. Though I only memorized that because it was going to be on a test one time. Bro. I love the occasional random lines like this. Oh yeah, I just remembered it because it was going to be on a test one time. I recalled being suspicious about it, and unable to believe such discrimination occurred in modern Japan. It just sounds unbelievable. Well,
自業自得と言えないこともないのかもし
I
れませ
suppose I
ん。
can't say that they weren't asking for it.
私たちのご先祖様は自分たちに鬼の血が流れていることを誇りに思い自慢し、麓の人々を蔑んで暮らしてきたのですからね。
Our ancestors were proud of the demon blood flowing through them. They lived their lives boasting about it and scorning those at the foot of the mountain, after all.
その神秘性で麓の村人たちを怖がらせ、畏怖と貢ぎ物の献上を要求してきたのですか
They
ら。
struck fear into the villagers down there with their mystique and demanding gifts of dread and tribute. With that, Mion smiled for the first time, albeit in self-mockery.
太平洋戦争中は国民一丸のスローガンが流れながらも、ひなみ沢村の人々は様々な差別を受け続
During
け
the
ました。
Pacific War, despite the slogan that all the country was acting as one, those from Hinamizawa continued to suffer all manner of discrimination.
数え出したらキリがないくらい。
There were too many ways to count. Well, I feel like the tone of voice Mion is taking is once again different. Like, I've never heard her talk like this.
夫や息子を戦場に送り出し、
It's just crazy. Like,
15の女たちも心がすさんでいたのでしょうね。
it's just crazy. They would send their husbands and sons to war, and the women on the home front would suffer greatly too.
当時をよく覚えている祖母は、
Oh, that's
それ
right.
が苦
That's
しい時代だ
Oreo.
ったと回想しています。
Sonozaki, the actual head for now. My grandmother remembers it well. She remembers it being a difficult time. Even that bitterly long war, however, finally ended in 1945.
多数の男手を失ったひなみ沢にも、ようやく父や夫、息子たちが戻ってまいりました。
Hinamizawa had lost many male hands, but at last their fathers and husbands and sons returned to them.
もちろん
Of course,
帰らぬ者も多かった。
there were also many who didn't come back.
それでも男手がなく村を維持することにすら限界をきたしていたひなみ沢にとって、それはとて
Nevertheless,
も喜ばしいことでした。
for those in Hinamizawa who were at their limits, barely able to maintain the village without the men, their return was a very happy thing. MacArthur's GHQ set to work on drastically improving mindsets and strove for the abolition of unfair discrimination. They could feel day breaking on the dismal night that was the previous era.
廃村寸前だったひなみ沢をもう一度立て直そう。
Hinamizawa was on the verge of turning into a ghost town.
そういう機運が高まり、村人たちは村を少しでも豊かにするために働き始めました。
Those in the village started to say that they should rebuild it once again, and got to work, trying to make the village even a little more plentiful. During that time, Sloan appeared to have built up a fortune through a vast number of dealings in the black market. That was Mion's grandfather, the husband of the elderly current family leader, Sohei Sonozaki. What? Who? I'm sorry, I gotta read that. Oh no, okay, that was the grandfather.
宗
Right?
平は中国大陸に出兵し、ハルピンで食料倉庫の管理をしていたといい、撤退時に上官や仲間たちと共謀して軍の缶詰をごっそりと盗み出していたのでした。
Sohei said that he managed food warehouses in Harbin after being dispatched to the Chinese mainland. When it was time to pull out, he conspired with his superiors and comrades and stole a great deal of the army's canned goods.
それを瀬戸内海某所に隠し、闇市で高値で売りさばいて大きな富を得たのです。
He hid them somewhere in the Seto Inland Sea and sold them widely at a high price on the black market, thus earning a fortune. Sohei didn't spend that fortune for his own pleasure either. It's all business. He trusted the entire amount to his wife, the head of the Sonozaki house.
廃れたひなみ沢を復興させよう。
Let's revive this ruined village.
村人すべては家族であり、この富は共有の財産である。
All who live here are our family, and this fortune is our collective property.
現当主である祖母はそう宣言しました。
So he time to my grandmother, the current head of the family.
この大きな富はその後のひなみ沢の復興の大きな力となったのです。
That vast fortune was a huge reason why Hinamizawa was revitalized after the war. I see. With that, Hinamizawa came back to life. That's how the Sonozaki family had established its current prosperity.
もちろん闇市で財を成したことを妬む人たちも大勢いましたが、
Of course,
もう村人は気にしなかった。
there were many people who begrudged the money coming from the black market, but the villagers no longer minded it. They succeeded at one business venture after another. Those who had succeeded freely supported those who followed them. The giant family of Hinamizawa, tied together with strong bonds, kept on expanding its influence. The Sonozaki family, the center of everything, would be extolled for a long time as the minds behind Hinamizawa's revitalization. Huh.
その活躍の中心人物がみーちゃんのおばあちゃんなんだね。
Person in the middle of it all was your Nana, Mi-chan?
すごいよね。
It's amazing.
大活躍。
What a great success. It looked like she was honestly happy Rena had praised her.
ですが
However,
昭和30年頃にまたしても逆風が吹き始めます。
around 1955, the wind started blowing in the other direction again
それが缶詰疑惑でした。
because of the canned flesh incident. Oh no. Canned flesh. It sounded so hideous. Just hearing it made me nauseous. Yeah, no. What is it?
祖父園崎宗平の上官だったと名乗る男が告白したのです。
Someone naming himself as my grandfather, Sohei Sonozaki Superior, confessed
彼の調達した缶詰は
that those
実は
canned
食材を
goods
用
had
いた
been
ものでは
human
なかった
flesh.
のだと。
Hinamizawa, a village in which demons lived and ate humans. They were just about to wipe away that cursed stigma. Wow. Like they had finally started to see in their peaceful lives, grew hazy and disappeared. Shocking truths, as revealed by his former superior. Stolen provisions from the old Japanese army that had been a huge cornerstone for Hinamizawa's revival had been canned human flesh. Why were there cans like that? Wasn't Sohei just the manager of food warehouses? His superior revealed that Sohei Sonozaki did not have the job of managing the food. Oh, whoa, the voices disappeared. Okay, I guess I'm reading this myself. In reality, Sohei's job during the war had been to exterminate pestilent mice and to transport the corpses of those with infectious diseases. Oh, what? It had been unfair treatment, and all because of the lowliness of his origins. That actually makes sense. As a result, though he had returned safely without having been sent to the front lines or being detained, perhaps that was the only fortunate thing to happen to him. Finally, Sohei was enlisted as an assistant at a military medical institution. There, however, he found something even worse than the low, scorned, depressing customs owning of Fuji village. In the research they were carrying out, that had been, well, you know, the bacteriological corpse in the old Japanese army or whatever. Keiichi-kun, you've heard of that? What could it be? It's so weird not hearing voices. I was pretty sure it was Unit 731. It was a nightmare unit that devoted itself to researching terrifying bacteriological weapons to break the deadlock in the war. I do vaguely remember this part, the bacteriological weapons. Yeah, I definitely remember this in history. It's like I haven't really I just don't remember my history from back then, but I actually do remember this. They used many innocent people as fodder for horrible human experiments. They methodically observed how many days a new strain would take to kill the victims. Oh my god, yeah, I remember this. How many days it would take when it would be when injected. How many days it would be when swallowed. They dissected many people to find that out. Sometimes they wouldn't bother waiting until they were dead, and dissected them while... Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay, stop. They would strap them in the centrifuges while still alive, and crush them in decompression chambers while still alive. When a live human decompresses, all the holes in their body get pushed outwards, and their intestines get pushed out of their anus like a snake winding out of it. Ah! The feeling I saw something like that on a documentary one time. That makes me sick. And they still hate Hinamizawa, huh? You said it. Mion agreed with me, giving a faint, sad smile. Wasn't much in the way of communication, but for some reason I was happy to have it right now.
僧兵がいた部隊はより現実的で温情的な研究をしていました。
The unit Sohei was in did way kind of research in that.
それは戦地での困難な食料調達に関する具体的な手法の研究でした。
They were researching concrete methods for reducing the difficulty of delivering food on the battlefield. The military designs at the start of the war completely fell apart, and a chronic food shortage broke out all over the battlefront. Food shortage led to malnutrition, and as their natural resistances lowered, soldiers fell to one disease after another. Spirit and morale lowered as well. They wouldn't be able to maintain their forces at this rate. Apparently that's where the research started. First, it was to find methods of delivering food to the battlefields. Oh, crap. It was very broad and included things from violent methods like stealing it from citizens to survival methods like how to cook unfamiliar insects and plant life. As they were working out the details, they kept straying off course and going out of control, until finally they knocked down a door called Taboo.
戦場で一番入手しやすいタンパク源は何だと思いま
What
す？
do you think the easiest source of protein on a battlefield is? Don't say it. Rena and I knew the answer without being told, so we didn't answer.
そう、
That's right.
彼らは
They were researching
通
ways
常
to
は食し
handling
ないものを食材として扱う方法を研究していたのです。
food.
彼らは時には敵に、時には望まぬ食物をハンデでも戦い抜くことが
Fighting onwards.
国に報いる究極の方針になる。
Sometimes sometimes eating the flesh of enemies and sometimes that of allies became the ultimate service paid to their country.
そういう教義を大真面目に組み上げていったのです。
They were deathly serious about this doctrine.
滑稽な話ですね。
It's really a riot.
祖父を過去のことで蔑んでおきながら、自分たちはさらにその上を言っていたのですから。
My grandfather was despised as someone who ate human flesh, and yet they had gone above and beyond that.
祖父はいつも思っていたそうです。
Oh, whoa, I suddenly got lost. Okay, apparently he always thought about it too.
たとえ世間の噂がどうあれ、彼らはそれよりもはるかに醜い鬼なんだと。
You know, he was a vulgar, man-eating demon. They were far more ugly demons than he.
だからいくら蔑まれたってちっとも答えないと。
So no matter how much he was scorned, he wouldn't put up with it. At last, they had a handful of test prototypes. When soldiers learned it was human flesh, however, the scientists couldn't make anyone eat it. So it was apparently sent to the front lines. The cans were labeled meat substitutes, and so that they wouldn't accidentally eat it themselves, they stamped the bottles with a circle.
お腹を空かせた前線の兵隊さんにはどの試作品もとても好評だったそうです。
The starved soldiers on the front lines apparently loved all the prototypes they were sent.
中でも醤油で煮たすき焼き風のものが一番好評だったそうで。
Among them, those who cooked it in soy sauce, like it was sukiyaki, loved it the most.
もうやめてよみーちゃん。
Come on, Mia-chan, stop.
気分が悪くなってきた。
Getting sick to my stomach. Yeah, God, like, why do I gotta listen to this? Rena was really pale-faced, and she looked like she was having difficulty continuing to sit on her knees. Like, God. Like, yeah, like, oh yeah, they just ate human flesh, and like, oh yeah, all this, describe all this and that. Like, no, like, I don't want to hear that. Dang. Like, I gotta listen to that stuff, bro. Mion looked like she had more to say, but she sighed lightly and stopped there.
じゃあその ミオンのじいさんが持ち帰ったという缶詰は
Those canned goods your grandpa brought back.
真偽は分かりません。
I don't know if it's true.
晩年まで宗平は世間の風評を否定し続けました。
Sohei died the night it was human flesh up until the day he died.
ですがひなみ沢の急激な復興を妬む人々はその疑惑を真実のように面白おかしくかき立て
Those who begrudged
村人をまたしても
Himizawa's
蔑み始めたのです。
sudden revival called him a savage for making a fortune from selling human flesh, and the villagers began to be scorned again.
また子供たちが生やし立てられ石を投げつけられる時代に戻っ
They
てしまっ
returned
た
to
の
a
です。
time where children will be jeered at and have rocks thrown at them. Stifling silence came back. What a seriously hopeless, sad story it was. They discriminated, were discriminated against, discriminated and were discriminated against. Why must they attach worth and rank to it? Why can't they live without looking down on people? Why can't everyone enjoy life together? I didn't know.
当主である祖
That's a
母は
question right there.
ある時村の子供たちにこう言いました。
My grandmother, the family head, once told the children of the village this. They throw a stone at one of you, then two of you must throw stones back. The children asked her, what if they threw stones at two of us? Of course, the answer was simple.
二人に石を投げられたら4人で石を
They throw stones at two of you, throw them back with four.
8人に棒で覆われたら16人で追い返し
If they chase 8 of you with sticks, drive them off with 16.
30人に中傷されたなら
If they
60
slander
人
you,
で怒鳴り
30
返
of
す
you,
と
yell back with 60. Finally, the children asked, what if we're attacked by 1,000 people? Even that answer was simple.
1000人に襲われたならひなみ沢の全員で立ち向かいなさいと
1,000 people attack you, then everyone in Hinamizawa will stand up against them. Huh. That seems like a really great
それは
village.
決起を促す劇のようですらありまし
It
た。
was a manifesto to spur people into action.
祖母は園崎本家当主としてだけでなくひなみ沢の母太郎として立ち上がったのです。
My grandmother rose up not only as the leader of the Sonozaki house, but as the mother of Hinamizawa. Oh, if only I've ever seen her literally at all. It's halfway through 1955. It's a time when riots over the treaty with the U.S. were rampant, a time of battle and action. People of Hinamizawa joined together and fought. Treating unfair discrimination towards one is a crime against them all. It didn't matter whether that one was a child or an adult. They heard that a child had been told off, then everyone would crowd around the house of the perpetrator, acting as a whole. They heard an adult had been treated unfairly. Men and women, young and old, would all band together and stand up against it. If you meddle with people from Hinamizawa, you'd be in trouble. And yet, people from Hinamizawa are killing people in Hinamizawa. Like, makes a lot of sense. Probably figured that if they could make others think that, they'd win.
ケイちゃんも町で不良に絡まれた時たくさんの人たちに助けられたのを思い出しませんか
Kei-chan, do you remember how many people came to help you when you got involved with those delinquents in town? When you were so happy to see me that you had kicked a motorcycle on accident? I recall how much of an impression it had left on me. Yeah, makes sense now. That the people of Hinamizawa boldly came to my rescue. Yet the people of Okinomiya averted their eyes so they wouldn't get involved.
祖母が戦い両親がそれを引き継ぎ
My grandmother fought, and my parents carried on the fight.
ようやく
At last,
ひなみ沢にも平和が戻った。
peace returned to Hinamizawa.
もっとも
Of course,
その平和もとても薄い皮の上に乗ったものです。
that piece had been placed on a razor's edge.
この100年の歴史を見れば今の平穏など揺れ返す天秤のたまたまの狭間としか言えないでしょう。
If you consider the previous 100 years of history, the tranquility now can only be called a chance interval, standing on uneven scales.
どうして
Why? Could I really have an opinion on such a long and difficult history when I hadn't moved here more than a year ago? Yet, I said it anyway.
どうしてみんなで仲良く暮らし合えないんだよ。
Why can't everyone just live in peace?
高野さんに聞いたお社様の昔話はどうなったんだよ。
What happened to those old stories of Oyashiro-sama that I heard from Takano-san? Man and demon join hands and live together in harmony. Didn't Oyashiro-sama remain in this world to watch over that?
おとぎ話です。
It's a fairy tale.
人と鬼は実在しても、それを調停するお社様は実在しなかったということです。
That even if those people and the demons were real, the Oyashiro-sama who mediated between them wasn't.
それで
Is that
お社様のたたりを起こすことにな
why
ったの。
Oyashiro-sama's curse happens? A cool gust of wind blows in from outside, fluttering Mion's long, beautifully clean hair. Mion kept her refreshing smile without answering. It didn't even change her expression, but even that became a silent answer. So, yeah.
ひなみ沢村を再び鬼ヶ淵村のように
So that Hinamizawa village might once more be like Onigafuchi village.
崇められるに足る神聖な存在に
So that we may again be a sacred existence, worthy of worship.
それが我ら鬼ヶ淵村の末裔の悲願であ
That
り
was the earnest wish of our ancestors in Onigafuchi.
園崎本家の鬼を継ぐ者の宿命なのです。
And the mission of those who inherit the demon in the Sonozaki family.
鬼を継ぐ者。
Those who inherit the demon. Alright, this is your first time hearing this.
我が園崎本家は代々当主の名に鬼の一字を加える習慣があるのです。
For generations, the Sonozaki family has had a custom of including the character for demon in the leader's names. Whoops.
私の名前を手のひらにでも書いていただければ
If you write out my
一
name
目
on
瞭
your
然か
hand,
と。
it should appear plain as day. I traced out the word Mion on the palm of my hand. I don't understand Japanese, so I'm hoping they actually... Oh, she's right. The character for demon is in there.
名前だけではありませんよ。
Not only in my name either, yeah, Shion.
この体にも
Oh,
鬼が刻まれているのです。
I thought you were gonna talk about... Okay. The demon is engraved on my body as well. She said that she quietly rose and began to lay her hand on her clothing.
いいよみーちゃん、
It's okay, Michan.
見せる必要なんて。
You don't need to
Zen
show
Zen
us,
Nai.
okay? Oh, right. No, you do actually. No, you actually do. No, Rena, no. Actually, don't stop her. Because we can figure out who this is right here. If she has a tattoo, it's Mion. And if she doesn't, no. No, it makes sense. Because obviously we don't... It's not trying to tell you, but... Oh, really? Come on, don't do this, please.
ありがとう。
Thank you. No! Just that exchange, I guess what she meant. Most likely, somewhere on her body, there was a permanent seal, such as a tattoo or marking, that proved she inherited the demon. But it also proves it's actually Mion, though. Like, you could be getting... Damn! Like, I think it's Mion too, but like... It's just... No... Damn. Mion didn't sit back down. She smoothly opened the paper door onto the porch. A refreshing breeze began to cleanse the damp air filling the room. Mion quietly gazed out at the wide yard for quite a while. On her shoulders was something I could never imagine the normal Mion carrying. It was the heavy, truly heavy history of Hinamizawa. No, of Onigafuchi wearing down on them. What kind of words could I possibly say to a Mion like that? Rena wasn't saying anything to her either. What could you even say at this point? I mean, if it's true, then I mean, like, what could you even say? Like, oh, I'm just like, really don't know. Only the voices of the Higurashi drowned out the silence. At last, after a long period of nothing, Mion murmured,
この5年間の連続事件ね。
serial incidents happening over the past 5 years.
私が直接関わったものもあるし、
I was
間接的に
directly
関わっ
related
た
to
もの
some
もあ
of
る。
them, and indirectly to others.
いくつかは園崎家だけでなく、他の御三家の君吉家や古出家が関わっているものもあるけ
Or
ど、
rather related to the others.
その
The
全ての
Kimiyoshi
中
family
心
and the
に
Brude family.
私がいたと思う。
I think I was at the center of all of them. Wow. Do I really want to believe that? No. Because that just sounds unbelievable, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't believe Rika, like, just, I'll say Rika wasn't involved, but it's like, Kimiyoshi, I guess we don't know anything about them at all. That's what's frustrating. She said it all without turning around, with her back to us. At some point, her tone of voice had gone back to being the Mion we knew.
私は自分のしたことには信念を持ってるし、
I have faith in what I've done.
罪の意識な
Don't
どまる
feel
でない。
any guilt?
あるとすれば、私の後継ぎも決まらないうちに
If I
舞
did,
台を退かねばならないこ
perhaps
と
it would be that I will have
くらいかな。
to leave the stage before the Heir is decided. I can't believe that you don't feel any remorse? Not for Sadako or Rika? Really? I mean, can I really believe that? Like, can I really believe what you're just telling me?
私を捕まえて、それで法治国家の体裁
I
が
am
整うな
caught
ら、
and tried in a court of law, which that's gonna happen.
それも時代の流れかなって。
And I suppose that's how it works nowadays.
この100年で一番平和なひなみ沢を見ながら引退できるのは、ひょっとすると歴代の園崎家の当主で一番の幸せなのかもしれないし。
Being able to retire with Hinamizawa, the most peaceful it's been in 100 years, could be the happiest thing that's ever happened to any of the Sonozaki leaders of past generations. Damn it! Don't say something like that. Like, fuck. Why do you gotta say something like that? Like, no. Don't, like, throw your life away for this. Don't do it, like... Oh my god. Mion leaned his shoulder against the paper door, then slid down it and flopped on the floor. It was an act of such resignation that just seeing it made me hurt inside. The numerous terrible crimes that Mion had been a part of suddenly began to fade from my mind. Hey Mion, I don't care what happens after this. Can't you just try to struggle as much as you can? Try to run away? As soon as I began to think that way, Rena's ringing voice filled the room.
でもみーちゃんはリカちゃんとさとこちゃんを殺したんだよね。
But Rika-chan and Sadako-chan, you killed them, didn't you, Mi-chan? You saying you don't care about that? The sharp points of her words stabbed into my chest despite not being directed at me.
他の人のことは殺してもいいとも言わないよ。
I'm not saying that it's okay if you killed other people.
でも
Regardless,
とにかくみーちゃんは
Mi-chan, yeah, these are our friends, like, we spend every day together, like, we spent so much time together as friends, like,
リカちゃんとさとこちゃんを
you killed Rika-chan and
殺した。
Sadako-chan. Could you, really? Rena's words, more biting than I'd ever heard. Wow. Even now that we all knew that all the heavy history pressing down on Mion's shoulders, she had criticized her for killing our friends.
私が園崎家の役目を負うように、リカちゃんだって古出家の役目を負っていた。
Just as I bear the duty of the Sonozaki family, Rika-chan bore the duty of the Furude family. She's a kid! An elementary schooler!
その
Hello?
役目が西宮殿を守ることだ。
That duty was to protect the ritual storehouse. What? My chest tightened.
去年あたりからリカちゃんが言ってたのは知ってたんだよ。
I learned around last year that Rika-chan had said something about it.
西宮殿の勘抜きが重くて辛い。もっと簡単な鍵に付け替えたいって。
The bars on the storehouse doors were too heavy for her, and she wanted to change them to a simpler locking key.
先代の神主さんでも重いと嘆いてた代物だからね。
Even the priest before her had complained about it being heavy.
リカちゃんに辛いのは重々承知だった。
She was very aware of how hard it was for Rika-chan.
僕がちゃんと番をしますですから もっと軽い鍵に変えてほしいなのです。
Oh my god. I will make sure to guard it, so I want to replace the lock with something lighter. Replied on the behalf of the Sonozaki family leader. Ever since the strings of the freak death incident, there seem to be people who are insolent towards Orashiro-sama. You shouldn't replace the lock with a simple one. That said, the leader of the Kimiyoshi family, Old Man Kimiyoshi, it's that difficult for you, Rika-chan, then I think it's okay to replace the lock, he said. The very fact that it was locked with a key was an indication of it being somewhere you mustn't enter. There's nobody bad enough to break through it and go inside, he said. Even if we were all alike as leaders, I couldn't find it in me to argue with Old Man Kimiyoshi, since I owe him so much. In the end, we decided to change out the lock on the storehouse, and switched it to a really cheap and light padlock.
おじいちゃん、
Oh man,
本当に大丈夫なんですか？
is this really alright?
バッチャもできることなら鍵は前のままの方が良かったと言ってま
Nana
す。
says that if possible, we should keep the lock the same.
大丈夫だよ。
It'll be alright.
心配性だな。
You're quite the worrywart.
何かあったらおじいちゃんがちゃんと責任を取ってあげるから。
Something happens, this old man will take all the responsibility.
本当ですね。
Do you promise?
君吉家の当主として責任を取られるという意味ですね。
You mean that you will take responsibility as the leader of the Kimiyoshi family, right?
おじいちゃんも
You should
この中に収められているものがどれだ
be
け神
well
聖な
aware
も
of
のか
how sacred
よ
the
くご
things
存知のは
inside
ず。
really are.
大丈夫なのですよ。
It's okay.
このひなみ沢に鍵を開けて勝手に入ってしまう悪い猫さんはいません
There
な
aren't
ので
any
す。
bad cats in Hinamizawa who'd open the lock and break in.
にゃーにゃー。
Oh man. I was like, I really did not want to hear that. Sobs escaped from my mouth. Oh my god, bro, like... Oh, this is like terrible. Something hot and wet dripped down in spades and fell onto the Tatsumi mat.
西宮殿に賊が忍び込んだという話は渡長市の祭りの最中にもう
I had
私の
already
耳
heard
に
of
入
the
っていま
thieves
した。
entering the ritual storehouse during the Watanagashi festival.
賊は4人、
There were 4 of them.
その日のうちに手が下されることにな
Decided
り
to
まし
act
た。
within the day.
同時に
At the same
西
time,
宮殿に賊を許した古出家のリカちゃんと君吉家のおじいちゃんも責任を問わなければなら
demand
な
that
く
the
なって
ones
し
who
まった。
allowed the thieves to break in, Rika-chan of the Furude family, and Old Man Kimiyoshi, take responsibility. My tears dripped and dropped, until just now, I had decided that it was Mion's fault, that she killed Rika-chan and the others. I was wrong. The one who killed them wasn't Mion. It was me. Don't ever say that. You didn't kill them. This person right here killed them. Hello. Don't blame yourself. I mean, yeah, you made mistakes, but I mean, look, right here. This is the one that killed them. I get it. Like, but don't, like, blame yourself, like, that much. You didn't kill them. This person right here killed them.
俺が殺したも
I
当然なんだ。
might as well have killed them.
圭一君。
I had a chance to stop this tragedy from happening, and yet I didn't. Wow, that happened so fast. That caught me off guard. Cheap curiosity got the better of me, and I didn't. If at the time I had stopped us from sneaking into the ritual storehouse, Rika-chan and the others wouldn't have had to die. If I had, then nothing would have happened. We'd be spending our days having lots of fun, like we always did.
俺がバカだった。
I was an idiot. If by shedding tears I could take it all back, then I would have filled up the room with them. However, such a meager act wouldn't be enough to redeem myself for the crime I've committed.
ケイちゃんは何も悪くないよ。
You're not at fault. Mion gently began speaking to me, as if trying to reason with me.
私は園崎家の当主として手を下さな
As
け
the
ればな
leader
ら
of
な
the
かったけど、
Sonozaki family, I needed to act.
園崎家の歴史なんか今にして思えば大したものじゃない。
Given the history of the Sonozaki family, thinking about it now, it's no big deal.
そんなもの全部投げ出しても 私は仲間を救うべきだっ
Maybe
た
I
のか
should
も
have
しれない。
saved my friends. The infamy casting all that aside. Yeah!
私がそんなものに屈したから、あの二人を殺してしまった。
I yielded to it. And that's why I killed those two.
それは他でもない。私、園崎ミオンが殺したということ。
I, Mion Sonozaki, and nobody else killed them.
私には踏みとどまる100億の瞬間があった。
I had hundreds of chances to stop it, but
でも踏みとどまらなかった。
I didn't stop.
安易に自らの役割に屈し、仲間のために戦うことを放棄してしまっ
I
た。
just can't believe it. This Mion gave up? Like, Mion would never. I just don't like. I don't understand. Like, what you're telling me is just like a complete 180 from you. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I gave into the easy role that was handed to me and abandoned all thought of fighting for my friends.
だからこれは私の罪。
So this is my crime.
私が殺した。
Why are you smiling? I killed them.
園崎ミオンがこの手で
Mion Sonozaki, with these hands,
殺してしまった。
killed them.
それは何ら変わらない。
Nothing whatsoever changed. I'm sorry. I think I almost. That made me so mad. Like, that line and nothing whatsoever changed made me so mad. I literally lost, like, I could not see. It's like a second. Nothing. Her masochistic laughter was sad. Especially because Mion boasted in the club that she would turn the tables on whatever predicaments presented themselves. Exactly. It was so painful.
でもみーちゃんは自分の意志で
Still,
一
Michan.
人だけ救ったんだ
You
ね。
saved one person of your own volition. Yeah, me. But wow, I feel really happy about that.
え？
Huh? As I looked at her surprised, Rena stuck her finger right at my forehead.
圭一くんだけを
You left
殺さなか
Keiichi-kun
った。
alive.
こんなにも強い力を持つみーちゃんなら造作もなかったろうに。
Strong as you are, Michan, it would have been no trouble for you, but
でも
you
殺
didn't
さ
kill
なかった
him.
んだよね。
That's right. Mion was so cunning that no one could stand up to her. Even in our club, if she had seriously tried to kill me, I would have been dealt with on the very first night. So many people had been sacrificed, but I was always left out in the cold. When did I first realize it? Even though people were disappearing one after the other, for some reason, I had this vague belief that only I would be left alive.
さて、
Hmm.
どうして殺さなかったのかね。
Why didn't I kill him?
鬼の私には見当もつかないわ。
As a demon, I can't even begin to guess.
ミオンの方に殺したくない都合でもあったんじゃないの？
Maybe Mion had some reason she didn't want to kill you. Huh? Why are you referring to yourself as demon and not Mion? Question
そ
mark?
れはどういう意味だよ。
What's that supposed to mean? Exactly. Is this another split personality case? Shh. You'll put a finger to her lips to say that Rena didn't need to talk.
大石は外で待ってんの？
So is she waiting outside?
うん、
Yes.
逃げ場は？
Any way out? No.
ない。
No.
ぐるっと囲んでるって言ってたわ。
They said they had the place surrounded.
無線でたくさんの車が来てるみたいだったよ。
Seemed like they called a lot of cars over the radio.
みーちゃん家の広い敷地を全部囲んでると
I
思う。
think they have your entire property surrounded. Mion fell silent. Rena's merciless words felt cruel, but she needed to hear them, yeah, but they weren't meant to be. Maybe they were trying to lessen her good friend's pain. Only by a little. Maybe they were considerate, like she was trying to help.
自首
Please,
しよ
turn yourself in. Mion didn't open her mouth, but she smiled. Just a little.
う。私たちも一緒に行くよ。
We'll go with you.
親友を一人きりになんか。
We'll never leave a friend by yourself.
泣くことレナには勝てないわ。
Crying children and Rena are the only things I can't beat. Oh my god. She rose, scratching her head. Her face had returned entirely to that of the usual Mion.
自分で自分の罪どのくらいになるかよくわかってる。
I'm well aware of how serious my own crimes are. Are you?
たとえ自首が認められても多分もうここに帰ってくることもないと思う。
If they accept me turning myself in, I'll probably never be able to come back here. We'll probably never see you again. I couldn't say anything. The number of deaths Mion was involved in was just too much. So much so that maybe recommending that she turn herself in was, in a way, extremely cruel. But you have no choice. You have to, like,
だ
you
から
can't go away from this.
最後にわがままを聞いて
So
ほ
I'd
しい
like you
な。
to hear one last selfish request.
何かな。
What is it?
30分でいいから、
30 minutes is fine. Oh, not this theme.
ケイちゃんと
Let me some
二人
time
きり
alone
にして
with
ほしい。
Kei-chan. Huh? My name suddenly came up, and it looked like I was the only one surprised about that.
ケイチくん、
Keiichi-kun,
どうかな。
is that okay with you?
ケイチくんが嫌なら無理にとは言えない。
If you don't want to, then I won't make you.
そうだね。
You're right.
嫌ならそれでもいいよ。
It's okay if you don't want to.
私は
After all,
鬼だもの。
I'm a demon.
ケイちゃんはよそから引っ越してきた正真正銘の人間。
Kei-chan is a bona fide human who moved here from somewhere else.
相入れることなんてお社様が実在して仲介してくれない限り絶対にない。
Wow, that is a really, like, sad line. For us to be compatible, as long as Oyashiro-sama doesn't exist to mediate, simply isn't possible. There was no reason for me to hesitate. You had been engulfed by heavy, unopposable tradition. The one who had forced her to kill her friends with her own hands. That was me, and me alone. In fact, with me cornered, it would have been okay for her to blame me. However, Mion didn't say one word of blame. Far from it, I was guilty of the same crime. She let me go. Amidst the fate she could not oppose, she saved me alone. I didn't know whether I should be thankful for that. Thinking upon it now, I didn't know how much easier it would be if I were to be granted the same punishment as Rika-chan and the others. The only thing I knew for sure was that I had an equal duty to bear the sins that Mion shouldered. So, when it came to Mion's last request, there's no reason for me to hesitate. Something about to go wrong. Like, these chapters gotta end wrong, which is why I'm so scared. It's like, but it's too predictable that I'm gonna die here. Like, I don't know, I don't really know what, like, we could do here. Because you think about it, it's like, what could she even do? Like, kill me? Like, it won't change anything. Like, it's just too obvious. I know the author wouldn't do that, where she just kills me, like, oh yeah, dead. It's just like, I don't get it. Sure.
いいぜ。
It's fine.
ありがとう。
Thank you. Wow, you sounded really vulnerable there.
私からもありがとうを言う
I'd
よ
like to thank you too,
ケイチくん。
Keiichi-kun. Rena stood up. Like she would keep her problems with Mion and leave.
いいよレナ、
It's fine, Rena.
ここで待っててくれれば。
You can wait right here.
ケイちゃんとは庭をぐるりと回りたいだ
I
けだ
just
から。
want to go around the yard with Kei-chan. Make sure you watch me.
退屈だったら私の部屋へ行けばいい。漫画とか好きに読んでていいよ。
You can go to my room. You can read any manga you like.
なんだったらお気に入りの単行本丸ごと持ってってもいい。
If there are any volumes you like, might as well take them.
嫌だよ。
I don't want to.
みーちゃんの本はみーちゃんのものだもの。
Mi-chan's book belongs to Mi-chan.
勝手にレナの家に持って帰れない。
Rena couldn't bring them back home with her so freely. I mean, yeah, and plus, say you did take them, they'll just have the memories of Mion. Would be any better.
あんたはこんな時に限っていい子なんだから。
He's such a good kid. Only at times like this. Interesting. Mion took Rena's head and rubbed it violently like I always did.
じゃあ
Okay,
行こうケイちゃん。
let's go, Kei-chan. We began to walk after Mion, who headed for the hallway, when Rena silently stopped me.
みーちゃんも
Take care
よろしくね。
of me-chan.
あ
Yeah.
みーちゃん、もう二度と帰ってこれないって確信してる。
Me-chan really does believe she won't ever be able to come back. I didn't know much about laws, but as many deaths as she'd been involved in, the chance of her escaping a heavy punishment seemed non-existent.
みーちゃんが短期を起こさないように
Watch out
見張ってね。
that she doesn't do anything rash, okay? Mion might not surrender herself to justice, but instead choose to put an end to things herself. Ren had already thought that far ahead.
あ
Right.
そんなこと
Won't let that
絶対
happen.
にさせないから
Rena rubbed at her tears, which had fallen without me noticing them.
じゃあ
Okay,
行ってあげて。
then go after her. I nodded and followed Mion, who had disappeared out the front door. I could clearly hear Rena sobbing from the other side of the paper door. Oh man, I don't want to hear
どう
that.
してみーちゃんは鬼なんか継がされちゃったんだろうね。
Why was Mi-chan made a successor to demons?
それは仕方のないことだったんだろうね。
Maybe it just had to happen that way.
でも
But
あんまりにもかわいそうだよね。
something hot burned down my cheeks. They were my tears. Fiercely wiped them away. This was the last of my time I could offer to Mion, so I absolutely didn't want to let her see my tears during it. Mion was already waiting outside the front door. Here we go. Okay, we're ending right here. Tomorrow will be the finale. Tomorrow will be the finale. I'm gonna, when you see this, like, obviously when it's uploaded, I'm gonna be recording the same day. We're gonna finish the final part. So here we go. We're gonna save here. Okay. Okay, well, this is the end of this episode. This was roughly, I think, 2 hours of recording. The next episode will be the end, most likely. And then you'll see Tataragoshi. And then we'll be doing, I think it's Tarimawashi, which is the first console arc we're going to be doing. And yeah, let's talk about this episode for a little bit, since I just feel like talking about it a little bit in depth. So yeah, wow. I don't even know where to begin here. It was just crazy. Between all the lore dumping and just like absolutely horrible things that were like happening, like the lore about, like, I guess just more about the village and its discrimination. It's just like, it's just crazy to me. Like, I never thought, like, you could, like, obviously you hear about discrimination all the time, right? But it's like, it's just like, it has a sense of realism to it in this. Like, I don't know why, but like, even though it's just like obviously like a visual novel and all that, like, it just gives me a sense of realism to it that like I normally don't get from stuff like visual novels in general. Like, it just has a real sense of realism to it that I enjoy. And it's just like, yeah, the war and all that, I loved all that. And then obviously with the build up of all of the like leaders and like just Hinamizawa in general. And then just, yeah, it was definitely incredible lore-wise, but I mean, like, I just can't believe Mion would do this. Like, it still doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Like, obviously, Keiichi means a lot to Mion. I mean, come on. We blatantly know she likes him at this point. I mean, she has a huge crush on him. It's extremely obvious in this chapter. Like, other chapters, like, previous one, you don't really, like, you didn't really see it. I mean, like, they're friends, but, like, in this one, she blatantly likes him. So, I mean, I get it, but, like, still, like, you chose him and not, like, but you wouldn't spare Rika and Sadako either? Like, that's just what doesn't make sense to me. Like, how? It's just, like, I don't get it. Like, how could you go through with this to the very end? Does, like, family tradition really matter that much? You'd go that far for it? I just can't believe she would go this far for it. Like, this far, kill all these people, do all these things, and then just not believe what you did was wrong. How could you not believe that? How could you not believe you were wrong? You killed people. You killed your own friends. Like, for like Keiichi and Rena, like, yeah, you crossed, like, obviously they don't accept you killing, like, people, but like, it crosses the line when it's people, like, you're close to. Like, you literally killed Rika and Sadako. Like, that's just a double line you've crossed. And, like, we can't forgive you for that. I just don't get your end goal. Like, what are you gonna do now? Like, you're surrounded, but like, why take me out here? I just don't believe, like, something bad's gotta happen. Like, I just don't know why you do this. But it's also just, like, so tragic. Like, I get it. Like, having it forced upon, like, your family traditions, like, forced upon you is, like, very rough. And I definitely understand that. Because, I mean, like, if you're born into it, like, there's just some things you just, like, can't stop and not do. But, like, it's just because that, like, I get it. Like, that's what sucks. It's like you were born into this. Like, you were born to do all these terrible things. That's why it's just like, I don't get it. Like, I just, oh man, I'm just extremely, like, frustrated, but I get it. Like, not frustrated in a bad way. Like, I'm frustrated in, like, it's such a good story that, like, I'm frustrated that, like, her very human actions to me. Like, it's very human what she's doing. Like, and that's what sucks about it. Like, it's just human what she's doing. That's why, like, oh man. I'm also confused about the Demon and Mion thing, where she switched between being a Mion and a, like, it was another case of, like, split personality, if you notice. Like, Keiichi had some sort of the same thing. Like, I had a, like, in the last chapter, Keiichi kind of had it. It was like, hey, Keiichi, my boss. He does it this chapter, too, but, like, I felt it was more extreme last chapter. And in this chapter, like, Mion's going through the same thing. I think the demon part of her, like, being like, oh yeah, that part's definitely false. I think you both went crazy in the sort of same way. Like, I just don't get how, though. Could it be like, you talked about a lot of diseases in Hinamizawa, right? This has to be a disease. Like, I don't know, like, the way they're going crazy, like, it's, like, I don't know, like, we haven't seen this crazy Mion. I mean, we did in the beginning, but, like, we haven't seen that crazy Mion that just, like, snaps like we've seen before. Like, we have, but we haven't. Like, we haven't seen that Mion that's just utterly snapped. And I lost my train of thought right there. Like, I was gonna make a point and I lost my train of thought. Like, I'm actually mad at that. But yeah, we just haven't seen her snap like that. And it's like, I don't know, like, it has to be a disease of some sort. Like, I don't know if it's an actual, like, disease known to the world that, like, alters, like, your personality. Or just, like, somewhat gives you another personality that makes you go crazy. Just, like, affects the brain. But this has to be a sickness or something. It has to be. It has to be a sickness because, I mean, like, that point of, oh yeah, like, Hinamizawa has tons of, like, diseases and stuff like that. It has to be some sort of sickness. Because, I mean, we've seen Keiichi, right? Like, obviously, I'd attribute some of his insanity to him being paranoid, right? Like, we've seen through his perspective. We haven't seen through Mion's perspective of her going crazy, obviously. But we've seen through Keiichi's perspective of him going crazy as well, right? We've seen him go crazy. Okay? But some of it's like, it's just, it doesn't seem like Keiichi at all, you know? Like, Keiichi can sometimes make rash and irrational decisions, but, like, not to the extreme he does later. Like, I get he's paranoid and he's irrational, but, like, it just doesn't seem normal, you know? Like, Keiichi's a normal guy at the end of the day. Like, he can be, like, he's a normal human at the end of the day. So when he goes, like, that crazy, like, when he's pushed that far, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. The same with Mion, right? Like, I don't know what triggers this, like, disease, but, like, say it is a disease, for example. I could be completely off base, and it's like, I don't know, maybe you're actually a demon or something, and Keiichi just went crazy because he went crazy, but, like, I want to link these two cases of you guys being the killers, of it just being, like, just, like, some sort of, like, illness that makes you go, like, crazy and afflicts your brain and eats at your brain. Like, that's what I'm thinking it is, right now, anyway. I think with that, though, like, okay, I also want to talk about Rena and just, like, how much dependable she's been in this chapter. Especially this section of the game, compared to just last chapter to me. Like, she's an extreme help with Keiichi this chapter. And I really love their dynamic this chapter. I love their dynamic last chapter, but this chapter is just so much better to me. I really love Watanagashi. Like, last chapter was a lot more just like chill, and then we got straight into it. This chapter, like, we gained a lot more out of it. Like, I feel like even if we go to the next world or whatever it is, like I don't really know what it is. It could be just like a new world. That's what I want to describe it as. A new world, right? We go to a new world, and then like we have so much more information going into the next one that I'm just like, I'm glad we obviously learned all of this because it just helps us quite a bit. Like, it's just that good. But yeah, back to Rena. I don't know why I sidestepped her, but like helping Kate, she's just been a great ally to him this chapter. Like, in terms of like helping him, just like being his support, being friends. Like, they have a really beautiful friendship to me. Like, I love the scolding scene she did. I loved that scene where it was like she was scolding him for going in there and when no one else would. I really like that scene. That's one of my favorite. Like, I really love their whole dynamic. Like, I really love their friendship. Like, we're obviously gonna delve into some of the like his other friendships with, like, obviously I'm assuming Sadako and Rika, because I mean we haven't really got a good focus on them yet. Like, last chapter we got Rena. This chapter we had a Mion centric. I'm assuming we're getting someone next. Probably Sadako because of the freaking Steam page, but that's not important. But like, yeah, like their dynamics just really like beautiful, and it's like through the second half. What else? Is that really everything? I think that's everything for me. I really liked having that little talk there, though. I might do this more, because I actually really liked having this long talk. I don't think I usually typically do that. But, like, maybe I'll have a discussion, you know? Like, I don't know. Oh, one more thing. Actually, no. I'm not going to talk about that, actually, yet. I'm thinking of doing a Discord server, but I want to, like, wait a little. I want to get a server where we can all, like, chat more regularly, you know, outside of, like, YouTube. Because, like, I just like going over theories like this. I just really hope I can get viewers that actually, like, don't know the main story to watch me. Because I also really like, you know, going through it with them. Like, for me, what sucks for me starting out is, like, I don't have anything built up for me. Like, my main audience is Higurashi, right? But, like, obviously, because of that, like, people mostly already know the game. So for me, it's going to be difficult to find people who aren't in the same boat as me and have people who've, like, you know, not watched the series, not read the series, not seen anything about it. Because, like, I really love to discuss between them, like, you know, like just theories, like, just about the game itself. Like, I just really like talking about it because it's just really, it's a beautiful piece of fiction to me. And I'm only, like, 2 chapters in, almost at the third one, almost starting the third one, but it's just amazing to me. Anyway, that's the end of this episode, finally. I don't know how long that tangent ended up being, but that's the end of this episode. What an episode it was. Now for my future plans. I didn't talk about it in the last episode, but I put it in the comment section. So, okay. What I'm planning on doing is, yeah, obviously I already talked about how we're doing Tatara Go. Okay, yeah, no. Here's my schedule, okay? Tomorrow, after you see this, we're gonna have the finale with Watanagashi, okay? So I'll be filming this the day this uploads. And then the tomorrow you're gonna see the finale, right? Yeah, we're probably also gonna do, okay, depending on how long it is, we're gonna do cast review. If not, we're gonna have cast review on the day after the Corpse Party episode. So 2 days after like obviously the next episode of the finale. Then after that we're doing Tataragoshi, and we'll go through the whole game of that. Then that's where we're gonna do the console arcs. That's when we're gonna start doing the ones that are for episode 3. I checked through all of them without spoiling myself. I checked the actual like game, because I would already set up and all that. I checked through what like episode is for what, right? And so we're going to be doing 2 console arcs before we go to chapter 4, okay? We're going to be doing Tardy Mawashi. We're going to do that first. And then we're going to do Somate Sushi. Is that how you say it? Yeah, and then we're going to do that. And then we're going to hop to chapter 4. And that's yeah. And then for Corpse Party, we already know that. And obviously, not a lot of you know about it. But definitely recommend people to watch that if you haven't, though. I don't get a lot of views on it, but I really do enjoy the series. And I like the series. It's very gory, but I mean, it's very fun. It has its own couple fun things, but yeah, that's the end of this episode finally, and I would like to thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed my playthrough of just the game itself and Watanagashi. And I will see you all next time. Peace.